The
They
Vikings.
had sex orgies.
No.
Oh,
That was the Romans.
But that was still Christmas.
Oh, for some people, yeah. But the Yule log is different. The Yule log was the Vikings would just go out. They find the biggest tree they could, hack it down, throw some, big logs onto the Yule log.
Oh, word.
And that's my homie, man. Chill. Chill.
Oh.
Yeah. Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
We're back. Okay, cool. Well, we do this thing. This is the kalimba, so we just say welcome to Painting with Friends. This is a special episode. This here is Cam.
How y'all doing?
Cam represents a clothing, not just store, but an entity.
Yeah.
Civil. Before we even get into anything, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and how everything started?
So I'm originally from California. Moved to VA, I want to say 04.
How old were you?
I think I was in 11th grade? I think I was
So it was late in your high school career.
late in high school.
So that's
yeah.
a big uprooting. Like you have to move to a whole entirely different side of the state, and now like you're somewhere else.
It was crazy. Yeah, it's CVL-Space.com. It was crazy because I had been getting into, growing up in California. I'm originally from Los Angeles. And, what my pops moved me up to the Bay Area, I want to say in 95. But, he was a single father. So it was always a back and forth between the Bay and LA. So I kind of, I was born in LA. Too Short says, born in LA, we got game from the Bay.
Yeah.
And that's like how I kind of view everything also. It's like anytime there was a break, spring break, summer break, anytime I had some time off, we was linking up on Highway 5 in the middle, on the way down to LA and swapping. I was hopping on Southwest flight back when they was letting little kids fly by themselves. I don't know if they do that anymore, but
I used to do that down in Georgia. So
it's real. Yeah, so I would do that, and then I like to tell people I'm really honestly from LA and the Bay. It's like a duality in that where it was like my pops had initially moved me up there. We lived in some cool spots. We lived in like West Oakland, went from there to Richmond, went from there to Berkeley, and then we moved to Vallejo. And then from Vallejo, we moved over to Benicia, which is a town right next to Vallejo. Yeah. So still 707, you feel me? Like, and so like I was getting into stuff out there and getting in things, and my pops was like, look, we go. I had two choices because he was working for Visa, and he's like, okay, they building up some stuff out in other states or whatever, so we gonna move. He's like, where you want to move? You either move to Denver or you move to Virginia. And I was like, damn, all right. Well, I was like, well, shit, Denver is not really, I can't really relate to Denver at all. But back in this time, this is early 2000s.
Yeah, it was
VA,
totally different.
When you hear VA, I was thinking, the Clips, the Neptunes, for real, and Missy. Timberland, Magoo, all that. I was like,
Magoo,
I'm about to move to VA. What's up? And then we got here, and it was like, this is Northern Virginia. And I was like, well, where are they from? They're like, they from down there. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, this is still cool. Like, we are right outside. I didn't even know, like, DC, like, it's a trip. Because, like, when you out, like, a lot of my homeboys even recently was like, yo, I always thought the Washington Redskins was in Washington State. And not in D.C. I'm like, well, if we damn for a while, me too. Because, in Cali, you just don't really, like, think about it out here like that. But I came here and originally got here in 04, went back to Cali, then came back here for my senior year of high school, then went back out there for college. And then when I got there, I thought I was missing out on a lot of shit. So I was like, I want to go back out to Cali and see what's up. But, that FOMO was reality check. 'Cause it was like, it was social media was really getting its foothold at that point.
Facts.
This is like 07. So when they just opened up Facebook to being able to be, everybody. MySpace was dying out. And, you feeling like you're missing out on shit, and then you get back, and it's like, damn, I'm not really missing out on a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's a lot more opportunities for networking possibilities, being on a whole nother side of the country. And I was like, all right, bet I'll go back. So I came back here. And then once I got back here, bro, I just like started working. I had my daughter when I got back. And then I was just grinding. And so staying in the VA, staying in Northern Virginia, I lived in like Centerville and just working, bro, just grinding it out, man, and had more kids. Then I had even more kids, and I had even more kids. So
How
now
many
I
kids you got?
got 4 kids.
God damn,
Yeah.
that's what's
Yeah.
up.
How old is your oldest?
My oldest is 11. She's 11.
Okay.
She just turned 11 in October.
man.
Son just turned 10 this month. My 5-year-old, damn, she
Okay.
turned 5 in July, and then my youngest turned 1 in August.
Papa Cam.
Yeah. So I opened up the shop, and I always wanted to open up a store here.
Yeah.
I was working in IT for the longest. I got a job in IT, and that's when I kind of like settled down. I was like, all right, I was doing a lot of blue collar stuff, just getting that bread,
Yeah.
just trying to get the money. All these kids, I was like, man, I gotta get my bread up. I had 2 kids at the time. I was like, I got my bread, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna just work. So I work like, man, I tell you, I done worked every job, drywalling, roofing, landscaping, lawn care service, retail. Drove a UPS truck. Yeah, my God. Yo, real shit. Like, it was just like a lot of just, stuff you got to do. So
yeah, of course.
then I thought I wanted to have a little desk job. You feel me? Like, I was like, oh, yeah, I got an opportunity to get a desk job. Let's get this. So I got the job. And, 7 years in, I was just like, man, do I really want to keep doing this? Like, I'm coming up on 30 now. I want to see what's out there, because I've always wanted to do the creativity thing has been in me for a long time, and I wanted to do a clothing line initially. So like Civil was initially just a clothing brand, and when I got the LLC, I dubbed it as that, as a clothing brand. And with anything I do, I try to incorporate the history or storytelling with any kind of brand I think of or anything I'm starting on. Because right now I have the shop, but working on a whole bunch of different shit as far as brands are concerned. But when Civil started and I got my LLC for it, I was just like, all right, this is just gonna be a brand. And I thought about the whole thing. I was like, oh, I'm in Manassas. Civil War started here. Playing on that word by itself, civil, and I'm like, all right, there's good to that word, but it always is accompanied with maybe not so great things, civil unrest, civil rights, all that kind of stuff. But when you think about the word by itself, it's like when you're being civil to one another, you're not really thinking about yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's like if we're being civil, I'm not putting myself before everybody else. It's us as a whole. So coming from a sports background, playing ball, I just thought of the whole term "no I in team," then no I in civil. So you take all those I's out and you get that, you get CVL. So it's like that was where it all came from, and it was initially just going to be a brand like that. And what's crazy is the way I found my location is in like a kind of a spot that's a little hard to get into, just off the fact of it's everything. Everything is your network. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have a network, foothold in this area to be able to get a spot like where Civil is at, which is in Old Town Manassas. Yep. The building that I'm in was built in 1903.
For real?
Yeah. So I mean, I have people come in that are in their 70s saying that, oh, my grandmother had a store here. And I'm like, wait a minute, how? Like, you look at him, you're like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, just the historical factor of everything, I always knew I wanted to be in an historical building with this whole thing. If I ever had the opportunity to open a shop,
That's deep.
So I went through Old Town and I was trying to get in. I was trying to get a shop down there for 2 years, 2 years, and I had a space that I really wanted, that was right on Center Street. And it was scooped up from under me. But the only reason it was scooped up from under me because it's like they knew the realtor. The people who got it knew the people. And that's how everything is. People got to realize, don't know. Everything is politics. Everything is who you know. Yep. Yes. Everything is your network. Yep. Nobody's doing anything without knowing somebody that got them in those positions, period. People think it's like, oh, it's football and playing ball. Because I played ball. I was trying to go to college. I was getting recruited and all that. And it's just like you'll see it when you're in college and you see it in the pros. It's like it ain't about how good you are. Yeah. It's about who you know. If your grandfather played in the league, bro, you're gonna at least get on a squad.
Exactly.
Practice squad, something.
Facts.
Just off the strength of your lineage. Yep. Period. Yep. So it's like on everything. It was just I always try to let people understand. It's just like anything you're gonna be doing, you just got to build up your network and your knowledge in that space. You got to know who's doing it. You got to know how they're doing it. You got to be consistent, and you just got to get it out there and get to work. Yep. So for me, I saw that. I said, boom, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm going to just go, look, I'm going to just I'm going to be down here patronizing all these businesses. I'm going to be down here buying candles, buying incense from these folks, you know, buying and talking to them, knowing the owners, whatever. And that worked out for me because literally one day we was walking, me and my wife was getting ready to go. We're going to an anniversary dinner for our homeboys, Will and Will. Shout out y'all. But it was like I was just going down to get some candles for them, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm walking past the shop, and I knew the owner there. It was closed up, and I was like, wait, hold on, what the hell's going on? So I looked down on the corner, and she had moved down to the corner, but they hadn't listed where she was yet because she was still in her lease. So it was kind of like she was in that last month of her lease, so she just moved and just paid that month. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it was like, so it's in there, but she put out the number, gave me the number to homegirl, to my landlord right now. And if I hadn't been knowing her or been talking to her, or like I wouldn't have been able to do that. Because literally that next day we was going down I think we was driving down to Disney World the next day. So I was like, damn, I can't even really like get face to face with homegirl. So I was down at Disney like texting back and forth and doing all this back and forth just to even get the shop open, just to get the shop. I got back and like just talking to her, I needed to have an LLC to even get a business license in order to get the spot. But what's crazy, I already had the LLC from the civil brand. Gotcha. So I already had it. So I was like, damn, it's crazy. So I just hopped on, grabbed everything, got my EIN, which is like your tax ID.
Tax ID for business.
Yeah, got my Virginia joint, all because I had the LLC already. And it would seem like it just needed to everything just happened the way it was supposed to happen. Yeah. And I signed my lease in a week. And then that was December of 2017. And so from December 2017 until May of 2018, I was in there just building the whole store. So
it's recent. I remember when that shit opened up, bro.
Yeah.
Like I remember when that opened up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was real recent.
Yeah.
I was in the building that recent.
Yeah. It was quick. It really, we haven't been open long. Learned a lot in the first year. So now I'm in my basically December right now. I'm in my last year of my lease. So like 2020 is gonna be my kind of year to go, okay, am I gonna stay in Old Town? Am I gonna renew the lease? I mean, I put a lot of work in there. Like if you look at the shop, like that whole wall, I got a big neon sign on the wall and it's all wired up and that's tile that I did. I did that myself. The whole ceiling
experience of like
all my bro, like it's crazy. Like I'm telling you, all the stuff that I've done, it's on some like Slumdog Millionaire shit, bro. I'm like, oh, everything that I've done is like prepared me to be able to do all this shit myself, not have to come out of pocket with a lot of stuff. Being able to just like run through and just do it is just like wild and so with everything, it does kind of make you feel like I do want to renew and I do want to stay there because like I said, we've changed the name. We've changed the name from just Civil Store because our IG used to be just CVL Store. And that was what I was focused on in the beginning because I knew that whole first year it was just going to be like, all right, this is going to be my year to learn what the demographic wants in this area. Because you can't be so arrogant to be able to come in and be like, I'm going to just sell what I want to sell and people are just going to buy it. Yeah, it's like, no, you got to play to your demographic and slowly but surely work your way into, hey, maybe y'all should want to, you know, maybe look at this thing or look at this thing, but you also got to have all the stuff that, you know, that they're going to want to buy. Yeah, you feel me? So I've been this past year just like working on just figuring out. I started out in there with all the resale gear. Then I put vintage gear in there. Then it was just like overall, it got to the point where I want to create and I want to give back to the culture. Not to hate on buy-sell trades. That's a dope business model, especially for the time we're in. But a lot of times the buy-sell trade spots, they're not giving anything back. It's just they're grabbing stuff up and flipping it and making a profit on it. Gotcha. There's not a lot of creative new things coming out of it. There are people out there that are doing that. Round Two's done their thing where they have their own shop and they have their own brand now, so they're giving that back. Then you got F as in Frank up in Canada. They got this whole thing.
The vintage genre.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, you should look at. Have you ever heard of Frankie Collective? It's crazy. They rework all this vintage gear, bro. It's crazy. It's like if you pull that up, they got some dope ass shit. So, but they're giving back, and there are other buy sell trade vintage spots that are creating more things that are putting it into there, but. I did want to have, and that's like, don't get me wrong, I love vintage. That's what I actually started out doing. Started out selling vintage stuff, and I was doing that on eBay back in 08. Oh, wow. So
you got the knowledge.
Oh, yeah. So, because right now I'm actually getting into really pushing vintage military stuff because that's really going like heavy right now. I love vintage military. Yeah, so I just sold a parka from the 1960s or something like that for like $70. My homeboy Alex just sold one of the fishtail joints from the 70s for like $300 or something like that.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
Sounds about right.
And he just came up on it and just put it up there. He didn't know that it was wild. So, but there's just so many other things like that the vintage game is getting into now. For me personally, where it's like I'm not really looking at because now you go in around so you can't get anything under $40.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And it's like you don't. I'm not gonna knock it and not gonna be upset about it, but those days of round 2 deals or getting some real deals when you went down there are over.
Bro,
It's round 2 is a corporate entity now. They're making tens of millions of dollars a year.
Yep.
They are a corporate thing now.
Yep.
So it's like, and you understand it's like that's where you want to be. You do want to get to that point. And you just it's there. They could price whatever they want to price, but they could easily price their shit like
exactly
on some like, oh, we gonna keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna have set prices for all our shit. Cause it's like if you have so much, and a lot of times they're talking about how they have a lot of inventory. They have so much inventory, so they're opening up store after store after store because they have so much inventory.
Yep.
And they're just like, cause a lot of people, at this point in time, a lot of these buy-sell trade spots become like kind of ATMs in a sense. If somebody needs some bread. I see it all the time. People that need money, they're just going to be like, oh, I need some money. Let me go ahead and go to thrift stores and scoop some stuff up and run down there and just sell it to them. And that's why they have to get more picky. People were getting upset about round 2 down in Richmond now.
Because they're in L.A. now too, right?
They're in L.A., Miami.
Damn, I didn't know about
Chicago.
that. I didn't know about that.
New York.
I know about
Richmond. And then they're in I think they're planning on doing an overseas joint coming up soon, like in London or something like that.
No clue, bro.
So it's like they're you can see that it is a thing where they have to expand in order to put that inventory out. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, let me read what they're saying.
They had some questions.
First person says, Mr. Clothing Man, can you teach Aaron and Vaz about getting clothes to their customers in a timely fashion?
Oh,
he
man.
ordered it a week ago, and they have to take time to make it. I told you, like our elves, we're not allowed to get them because of child labor laws.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
He said also respect for raising them kids. We respect people who raise.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate
facts,
that.
facts.
Raised by a single father, bro. It's in me, man.
Yeah,
like it's
facts.
real. So
And making a blanket is very hard. They have to do a lot of stitching, and it's
Is
not
that
easy.
yours?
It's
Is that yours?
That's
Yeah, it's small.
tell them about your. So
Yo,
tell them. kinda
yeah, I
about
need to,
yourself.
like, know about what-
tell
yeah,
them
I'm
about-
gonna-
So and for the people that still don't know, tell them about Cloud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So CY is coming on his way. That's if
So
you
he
ever
can
met-
explain a lot more.
Have you ever
but
met
he
CY
knows.
Music, or he's coming to your shop a lot? He says he knows you.
hey,
He's the drawer of the image. This logo,
that's
the cloud
hard.
image. And what we do is we plaster it onto different clothing and stuff like that. And it's a cloud brand.
Why is he still
Okay.
talking like that?
So how do you So what do you do as far as is that plastisol? Is that direct to
this
garment sublimation? What is that?
I don't know. We started doing drop shipping and stuff like that. So
Who
See
do you
why I
use?
can tell you.
Who do you
CY
use?
can tell
Printful?
yes,
Yes. Okay.
I love them.
All right.
And
I could give a little game on some other
Ryan,
things
that
I
is
can
why
use too.
your garments are taking so long. It's Printful's fault, not ours.
See why? Yeah. And, maybe you can get some more. Give us some more information.
I mean, look, I'll tell you right now, this blanket right here, I will if I will buy one and I'm gonna cut it up and make it in some pants. Cause that shit will be
that would be dope.
That would be
That would be
crazy on some to be in some pants, bro.
Could you imagine that?
Yo,
Yeah, that'd be dope. Same material.
bruh, same material. I'd leave it just like that. I'll rock it just like that. Yo, I'm telling you,
That would be
I
dope.
would.
You'd be warm as hell,
Bruh,
too,
yeah, that's
yo,
what I'm
for
saying.
real shit.
And that's the thing, being from California, bro. Like when the winter hits, like I kind of, I was telling my wife, I'm a little bit like, I don't move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she'll be like, "Why are you still in bed?" I'm like, "It's cold." You know?
Yeah.
She's like, "Why is your hoodie on? Why are your pants still on? Why are you sleeping with your clothes on?" I'm cold.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yo, it's 55 degrees outside, but it's like it's different.
Yeah.
It's like it's not just it's 55 degrees. It's like it's 50 or 40 degrees, and it just started being that temperature. It takes me a while
To get adjusted to it, yeah.
Cause then obviously once we coming in the spring, if it's 50, everybody like in shorts and they walking around like blah blah blah. Oh, this is dope. My biggest thing is like I can wear shorts though when it's cold outside.
To an extent, I can.
I just can't have my upper body be cold.
Got you.
So you'll see me wearing some like shorts, and it's like 30-some degrees. But trust me, I got the like thick socks. I got the couple layers on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's a cool thing. But this bruh, that blanket though, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
And
real
that's
shit.
probably
How much is this blanket?
We saw for 30.
What?
Just $30.
$30.
He said he cool. I'm definitely about to slide through. All right, yeah,
That's
come through,
crazy,
bro.
man. That's a good price. Like $30.
Yeah, it's a great blanket.
How much if you made something like that, same material, how much would you price that for?
Can I feel it?
Oh yes, it is. It's like it's a great like super cottony feel. Almost feels like cashmere. It feels like you're actually sitting in clouds. It is amazing.
Now, this is a good conversation too. I'll tell you about brand identity. I mean, if I,
At least he likes it.
this is hard.
I love his, I love his enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like,
it matches mine.
no, I'm real. Like,
Nice.
it's really, really dope. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I love people creating.
Yeah.
Is I think everything to me. So it's like when I see something, it's all about what stuff makes you feel.
Yeah.
Right. It's all it is. It's just literally what it makes you feel. So that's making me feel something. When I saw it when I first walked in, I'm like, oh. And then when you say that's y'all shit, it ups it. You feel me? Like you're like, oh damn, that's y'all made that. Then it's like extra. You know, if it's just a blanket y'all bought, I'll be like, oh, that's a dope blanket. But it's like, oh, y'all made this.
Yeah.
It makes it something more. And I think that's what everything is. Even art in it with this brand stuff. I mean, there's people out there that can make something like this, and they gonna charge $80 for it.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
but it's all about how you market your brand. So I know I have brands. I know people that have brands that they charge $250 for a hoodie. Yeah. And it's not a hoodie that's like anything special. It's just the way that they've branded and marketed that brand. So it's like everything is a story and everything is how you market it. Nothing is a lot of people, this is what the issues I see a lot of the time is like people will make a logo and then they'll just like slap it on stuff and they'll just keep slapping it on stuff. And especially if they're trying to be a clothing brand, if it's something that's like with your, say it's like with your podcast or whatever, and it's y'all merch, like, oh, it's your merch. But the way y'all sell this through the connections you have with your viewers, right? When you're a brand, you're not really on some like, oh, me personally, like. No, I'm creating something that I'm giving to you. Facts. I'm presenting to you. Now, that garment or that item that I've created, I have to either put a story behind it and I have to present it to you in a dope way for you to feel it and really to see it. A lot of times folks think that they could just take a pic, make something and be like, this is my brand. Yeah. And then go, these are the pictures. All right, buy it. It's like, nah. You gotta... what you doing? You gotta do a photo shoot. Yeah. You gotta lay it out. Yep. You gotta write me a whole thing about your whole brand. You gotta like you gotta do more. So it's like, yeah, exactly. So and then like when people see certain things and they see prices of stuff, they're like, oh, so like there's a dude I follow, I really like, Joe Fresh Goods, right? I bought a pair of his sweatpants, right? Yep. And I know where he gets those sweatpants. Like I literally know where he gets them. I have some stuff dropping. It's the same, but they're really quality sweatpants, really quality everything. But he's charging $130 for a pair of sweatpants. Yep. People will go look. Some people look at that and be like, "Damn, what the hell? $130 sweatpants?" But it's Joe Fresh Goods. If you know him, you know how he presents his stuff, and you're willing to drop that. But it's how he presents them, who you see wearing them, how the photo shoots are done. That's all really important. Exactly. People that have started with brands, I've seen dudes that started a brand and they start I remember Goose Country first started and I was following their brand and people are seeing their jackets and they're like, oh, what, $200 $300 $400 for a jacket? I go this, it's like, bet. And they just stayed with their pricing. They didn't change it because at some point you're going to get people that come by and they are going to buy it. Yep. And then that whole realm of people who will spend $230 or $250 on a hoodie are going to buy it too. Exactly. And it's all about exclusivity at that point as well, because it's like if I send a t-shirt or if I send a hoodie to Haskins. This joint is warm. It's making me hot.
That's why we need to make it.
It's real. Oh yeah. Oh, you gonna be warm, because that joint just sitting on me, bro. And I'm just like sitting here. My whole lap is hot. But like, say you send it to an NBA player, you send it to somebody. If they hop on and look at your brand and they see your shit is like, oh, that's a hoodie. That hoodie's they charging $60 for it. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But if they look at your brand, they look at that page, and they see that you've presented as a dope site, and that joint's $260, oh, best believe they're going to wear that joint. Because it's something that not everybody can have. It's the same thing with art. Exclusivity. Exactly. People love exclusivity. That's why exactly. So well. Exactly. And it's like, same thing with, like you're doing art, right? I always tell some of my artist friends, I'm like, bro, like, oh, my art's not selling. And I'm like, okay, how big are you making it? It's like, I'm making it this big. I'm like, okay, triple the size. Go to Michael's and get a $100 canvas. All right, now when you make it, go ahead and just put $10,000 on it, right? Yeah. That is kind of crazy to people to understand, but when you put that type of price tag on it, only a minute people, a group of people can afford it, and those are the people who want to have something that everybody else can't have, right?
You got to present it to the right people.
Exactly, and then from there you get an art gallery or an art agent or whatever that wants to put you out here and put you out there, is because you've created an exclusivity for your items.
See, I always try to preach that, and I like with our clothing brand, I always try to make that known. But to most people, it's like, why would you do that? Our clothing brand is it's not up there yet. And I always try to preach that factor. And recently, like we had this hat, in which our hats they usually go for 20, but then we cut it up and we did like other things.
Yeah, right.
And then we pushed it for 40. And then at first we were like, nobody's gonna buy that hat if God has for 20. First thing they did was buy the 40.
Right? Yeah.
It was crazy.
It may be kind of hard to like say you have a brand that's been at this price point, and then you jump over and you already have that audience who's used to paying this price point, right? Yep. If you jump it, they are going to be like, wait a minute, what? Like, hold on, I'm used to buying at this point. So that's what I'm doing right now is like, you have to kind of, I guess you could say, if you are a person that's a whole bunch of brands, or if you are a brand, I always tell people, like, if you have a brand and you have the ability to because what I have, like, I have four brands that I'm really, really working on, like heavy right now. And that's like Civil, which is like the store's actual brand, right? Yeah. And then you have I have a brand called Insufficient Funds that I'm working on right now. It's like more of like a skate brand. It's gonna be like just straight up t-shirts, decks, all that stuff. Cause everybody understands that. Trust me, everybody understands that shit. And like it is a relatable thing. And the story that, like I'm telling you, I'm creating a story. I'm creating a feeling with the whole brand. Then I have a brand called Where We Send, and that's going to be like my more high-end kind of streetwear brand. I just think it's like a cool little thing where I do want to do pop-ups in different cities, and then like I'm going to do kind of thing where I work on like, working with certain areas in these cities where it's like maybe it's a sinful thing to be there or to work on. Or everybody, because like, it's Where We Send can be like, I send everywhere. Everybody has sinned, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's a relatable thing. And I have another brand called Ace and Nib Studio, which is like a play on my hometown's name, and that's like more of like a avant-garde, like real crazy, like artsy. Yeah. So it's like I'm just like not trained in any of this at all. I'm learning on the fly, but all I know is that I'm just sitting there, just consistently, just creating. You see my phone is just like, it's wild. Like it's all about. Oh yeah, double phones. Like you gotta have two phones.
I think that the chat is fucking with you. They're definitely fucking with you. They said it's all about perception.
Yes.
You know your worth for real.
Yes.
He said everyone's sinning. That's why.
Angels crying.
That's why angels crying.
Hey, I'm gonna put that on the shirt. Can I have that? Hey, let me have that.
This is wrong. That is not why angels cry. Why answer the date.
That's
so
the
close
question.
to why have angels cry. We have a good question. That's our theme.
Why do angels cry?
Yeah, you can take a guess.
Or you can take your time on the answer.
I know what it sounds like when doves cry.
True.
Right.
True. RP purple one. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just.
Ryan has come the closest. He said like two things that are very close to why angels cry.
Why is that?
I can't reveal.
Is it a riddle? Is that?
It's just an answer.
I don't know.
Oh, so did y'all just come up with the answer, or is it a universally known answer?
I came here and they asked.
And they already had it.
I don't fucking know.
He was like, wait a minute, what?
Like, yeah, I'm confused, bro.
And then like, why am my suspenders so tight? That is another one.
Why am I suspenders
so tight?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you bought them too small.
That could be.
Why are my suspenders so tight?
Yeah.
I'm
a big guy, so I got to get shit like, you know what I mean, bigger.
Yeah.
Shit like
Yeah.
that.
Can't
So
you lose
like,
the suspenders up?
Yeah, but you could still get them too small.
You know what's weird when people wear a belt and they have suspenders on?
That is weird.
It's like
weird as shit.
It's like,
That's
bro, like,
weird.
wait a minute, you
He's
got
doing
two
it for the
things doing the
style.
same thing.
Yeah, I've never seen that, and I'm glad I've never seen that actually.
Well, you got. It's a lot of times people don't understand what suspenders are for. They're just doing it for like the fashion.
Yeah.
It's like, I got suspenders. I was like, bro, like, but you got a belt on too. Like,
yeah.
they're not. Those things don't go together.
Yeah,
it's one or the other. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, bro,
Ryan
but
said you could have it. It's yours. It's valid
so
there.
let me ask you a question. Do you think it's a thing of someone trying to do too much when it comes to fashion? Like, because I know you sound like you're well versed in fashion, so like I have a lot of conversations about it too. So it's good that we have somebody that knows about fashion.
For
Right?
example, like if somebody wore like a oversized like perka, like I'm talking like this shit would be worn by like a giant.
Yeah.
Those Photoshop pictures.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Even if it's not Photoshop though, because I know you've seen some shit that made you be like,
No, I've seen some oversized, super like puff.
Yeah.
There's actually this dude on Etsy that I saw, this Russian dude, and I was looking at it, I was just like looking for one. It was like super crazy. It's like huge. But I don't feel that anybody can ever do too much when it comes to fashion because it's a form of expression for themselves.
Makes sense.
It's
art.
And it's all about the confidence in that person as well. I hate when people say I can't pull this off, or I would wear that but I can't pull it off. I hate that. It's like, bruh, you can pull off whatever you feel you can pull off, right? If there's people around you who are constantly telling you can't pull some shit off or making fun of you about what you're trying to rock, then those are people you don't really want to be around. Or you can just be like, I can handle all your shit. You feel me? Like y'all niggas just can't wear what I wear, you know? I don't feel there's anybody doing, I don't think there's any such thing as anybody doing too much. Because even when you watch these videos of people trying to go to Fashion Week and they're trying to be like, funny and be like, I'm gonna wear tubes on my arms and see if they take pictures of me. And it's like, I mean, you're at an event or at a place where art is people are expressing themselves, no matter what it is, and you're trying to demean people or make fun of them because you have some type of insecurity on things that you can't do. And it's like, I don't think that should be in anything. It's same with music. No, they do dope shit, and then people, and then photographers actually taking dope pictures of them, and the shit don't even look crazy. It's like, yo, you look all right. I mean, it's like,
tough. It's tough. It's pretty
tough.
tough.
What I'm saying? And I'm just like, yo, like, it's art. It's because I'm never gonna knock anybody for anything that they do. Only thing I may be critical of is if somebody's making some bad music, and I'll be just like, yeah, bro, like I don't think it's I personally, if you ask me my opinion, this ain't it. Same with fashion, though. I will tell people, like, if the quality isn't there on their garments or whatever, I'll say, look, you should do it this way. You should change it up. But I'm never going to not be constructive with anything I give. And it won't ever be, I just don't feel like too much is anything. I've seen people walk through with, like, clips and boots and straps and all this kind of dope shit. And I'm like, they could post it on a certain page, and I guarantee they'll have hundreds of thousands of likes, people going, no, this is hard. This is dope. Like, so I feel like there's always something out for somebody, or anything can be worn anywhere for people to fuck with it. Right. And it's confidence. Mostly it's just like, you just got to rock your shit and be confident in what you're wearing. You know what I'm saying?
So I like that, man. Yeah. I like that. Damn. Keeping the convo going, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Man. Like, nah, that's definitely something that I think a lot more people should, because I find that sometimes I wear something where I might think to myself a little too much.
Yeah.
So I started getting out of that whole situation.
Yeah.
Like, I got, like, they've seen it. Like, I got this big ass, like, black kimono that I wear when it's cold outside. And I don't give a fuck where I'm at. I'm like, bro, this shit looks boss on me, bro. Like, so it's just, and even just coming up with a little Christmas. This ain't fashion, but it's like, bro, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like,
just throw it on.
It all just blends, and I think that's a lot of the times when I do talk to certain people, like you said, when I hear people say, "Oh, I can't pull that off," like that bugs me sometimes.
Yeah, I'll just be like, bro, you can pull anything off. You just gotta rock your shit.
A cross-platform cosplay brand that's mild for mass appeal but still refreshing and referencing geekdom without straight up wearing a mask.
What?
Say it again.
Yeah, he wants a very mild like fandom to cosplay, but a brand that accentuates cosplay. I think Michael B. Jordan has done.
Michael B. Jordan did that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done a very
the Naruto joint. That was cool.
It's very good.
And that's cool.
And it's very slight.
Look for the One Piece Skechers collab. Those are hard. Those are hard. But they only did like women's sizes. Yeah. So I was trying to find like a size 12 in women's, but they did not even.
Bruh, I literally
compared to American, that's what it is.
I literally just did that recently.
I know, right?
Because like maybe I'm the only person that sees it, but lately a lot of the women's shoes have been cracked. Like I've had to get the fucking. I just got I forgot what they were, but they're like these Nike off-white jumps. But I had to get them in a size 14 just so I can fit
the little track spike joints.
Yeah.
Yes,
bro.
Yes.
I literally had to get them Jones on a size
I was just looking
14.
at StockX at them joints. I want to say maybe like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I found a couple pairs, and I was about to just cop them because I was like, let me see, because the hardest thing, even with buying them in like our size, but women's, they're so narrow.
Yes,
that's the
bro.
problem.
Oh
You're like, damn.
So it's still a little like,
yeah,
but it's not
your
like
toes
too
are
bad
crossing
to the
over.
point, I'm just like, I can still like rock them and wear them, but it's like, God damn it, bro, like,
damn. That's like, yo, you be karate like, damn, these colorways still they put up for the women are just so hard. Like, God damn.
I think it was M9K Techno. I think that's the ones, Nike ones. And they had these silver, white, and orange Jones. And them Jones were so sweet to me. Like, and I couldn't find them in my size. So I got like some black and green ones that's a little too small. And I'm like, fuck, bro, this sucks, dude. But
I think the last women's shoe I bought I sold a lot of my shit to open the store, so I don't even remember what I had, bro.
Get that bag, bro.
Bro, I had to but I just reinvested.
These
in
are the
my
joints
appearance.
I'm talking about. I wanted these.
Oh, the MK2s.
Yeah, I think it
The
was
M2Ks?
these
M2Ks.
joints. Yeah, I wanted these so
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
Like, couldn't find them, so I got the black and green ones.
Yeah,
instead,
yeah.
So I'm like, God,
What was
damn.
crazy, yo, everybody needs to really just be hopping on these under retail tabs on Goat and StockX now. You'll be able to find some dope shit like under retail.
Cause I've been a go. I got some Kith Cobra joints on there, and I'm still looking for places, but it's like I don't know too many joints.
Yeah.
Does this arrow drop down to show more items?
I think that's it. That's all I got right there right now. Actually, I have some stuff in the shop that I haven't shot. So I'm actually in the process of doing a new setup for my product shots. A lot of the product shots I've been kind of like unhappy with. But my man Trey, Westerfield on IG, he was able to freak those. Actually, I took these pictures outside. I had a big old white thing, and I took them outside. And so he like messed with it and made it work. But shout out to you, Trey, because you did that.
It looked wonderful.
But I got some more stuff coming. I'm about to really have my setup be a lot better. I'm trying to do like a whole home setup for my product shoots, and I got a little steam rink thing, a little steamer, little joint, yeah. So I'm those are gonna be a lot better, especially what's coming up now. I just got the login for the site too, so I'm gonna start fucking with it and doing a lot of stuff, trying to make it. I'm actually about to make the website look like an old MySpace page.
That's lit.
So the
You
site
gonna have a
is
top 8 on that joint?
Yo, real shit.
So
Like, I'm about
this
to
is
really fuck with
recent.
it.
The site is recent.
Yeah, we just dropped it. I want to say
Cause you were on the
last month or something like
I
that.
can't forget. I'm sorry, man.
Oh
like
my
it's just
God.
Yeah.
It's
It's
little
all
shit,
so
yeah.
new,
It's
man.
such a wonderful start.
It's all so new,
It looks like the final product.
Yeah,
to
my
me.
homeboy Andy did that. AQ Bowie. He's on the page. I've tagged him in the picture. You see him on our IG is CVL Space, but on the pics. But he did those. That's my homeboy. He can shoot. He's a patent artist, so he draws all the patents, and he's like a crazy photographer. He was actually hitting, when Fast and Furious came out in the early 2000s, like all those import magazines, like a lot of those shoots, he did them.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I can't wait till this shit jump off because I'm gonna have him
really
on the squad,
yeah,
like real shit.
Facts.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's really, really good. So, and he always does shit for the love.
I got to meet somebody that has because I've always like I said I like fashion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't get a chance to really meet too many people that like owns a joint just like in your kind of where you're at right now.
Right.
So for that, like, do you see? Because like you said, I could tell that like everything is still kind of in the beginning, but still a lot more of the grind. Do you see yourself expanding in other states? And then if you do, because you did say you're from Cali, where are some states you would go to?
I would avoid California.
Why?
It's really hard for businesses in California, especially right
a lot
now,
of them?
and the taxes and everything like that. It's tough. What I would honestly do, like, if our family, we're getting into commercial real estate, and we actually, we have a building that we bought in Atlanta, right on MLK.
Oh, wow.
So we're like around the corner. We're like up the street from like one of these little diners that they like planned a lot of their marches in and stuff like that. So like, but at this point, we're potentially gonna just like knock it down and do like a 4-story like apartment thing where it's like business on the bottom, apartment on top. And I might do a second location there, just because it's a very centralized location around colleges. So you have like Spelman, Clark, Georgia Tech. Morehouse is like all surrounding the area.
So the college is all
right.
That.
So I think it would be a really dope thing to do. That's like if everything we want to do, or if all that goes the way we want it to go. But if my wildest dreams, my next spot, I'd be trying to go to London after or here. Just because like people don't understand, a lot of people do not really get the different markets and how the whole different continent will get different things. So being able to be on 2 different places in 2 different continents, right. And I'm looking for like trying to be in like South London, like Brixton or something like that. But it's a little, people are telling me it's a little sketchy, yeah, down in that area. But it's like I really, not on some Drake shit, but I really fuck with the culture out there.
Yeah.
And I've always fucked with like UK garage and drum and bass and
It's very similar to our movement right now. Like it's crazy because like their movement is kind of matching up with ours.
Right,
when you
right.
talk to a UK rapper, it's kind of like what you're seeing in like VA's backyard.
Right.
You said Canada. One of the people said Canada.
Canada would be dope. Actually, my wife is from upstate New York, and Toronto and Buffalo is like right there. I got a homie that lives in Mississauga, and he yeah. So I would like that. It's just so damn cold, damn man. But it's what's crazy though? They don't realize how far up north. I never realized how far up north London is.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you go across like the longitude line.
The ice sheets.
You're up there with you're up there with like Iceland and shit.
It's cold.
I was like, yo, wait a minute. I did
always
not
raining
know
and
it's
shit,
that
so,
ever high up there, yo.
yeah.
But it was actually cool. So I don't know, that would be my thing, and I don't know, I would try to go, to the right, instead of going left and going all the way over out to, LA, I would try to go the other way around the world. Go to London, then maybe do something in like Germany. Then if I could do like Dubai, and like go that way, because I got a homie he owns a shop Blessed, and he was in Fair Oaks, now he's in Tyson's. I used to work with him at Visa, and I was talking with him the other day. He's actually trying to make that Dubai move like heavy. So
is it popping like that out there?
oh yeah,
Because I know they got like I seen. Like,
I mean, people go there to just spend money. Like they go there to spend money.
They got an Off-White shop there. That's why I think that's the
They got
only
a
one
store
there.
there?
Yeah, the only store that's.
Oh, wow, I didn't
there.
know that.
I think it's in Dubai. Yep.
That's crazy.
Shop out into Dubai because
Yeah,
it is
bro.
such like a money blowing state. Like Trump
yeah.
he was so adamant about getting his Trump Towers, one of his Trump names, into Dubai and also into like Moscow. Because
Oh, wow,
there's,
yeah.
like lots of people and like high governmental officials and their children, they have lots of money, so they'll spend and it gets your brand a lot of recognition.
Yeah, that's real.
Got you.
That's real.
Got you.
It's like we have a lot of when you go to LA and stuff like that, you got a lot of Chinese foreign exchange students or the foreign students that go to like USC and all this, and they out here whipping. They on Rodeo Drive and they out here whipping they damn McLarens and all this, and all, but they just head to toe, just Gucci, Louis, like everything.
Drip.
So they the ones out there really, buying their own Melrose heavy, out there.
I haven't gotten a chance yet, but would you like anything to paint with or like do any arts and crafts with?
Yeah, he's painting with friends. So yeah.
Yeah, I would like. Y'all ain't painting?
I mean,
He
yeah,
painted.
maybe.
He did something. I never got it.
It's just the conversation has been so good.
Yeah,
that I
it's
just
been-
No, that's good. That's good. That's a good thing. Yeah, yeah. I
I
would love to. I would love to do something. I'll try to do something.
What about Japan? 'Cause
Japan?
Everybody loves Japan.
Japan would be great, but I think who really got it now is Korea.
Yeah,
True
Korea,
shit.
South Korea, is
South
actually
Korea.
booming.
South Korea. I think South Korea got that fashion shit, but
And
that
you want to be
K-pop,
there.
real shit.
You
Because
want
like,
to, here's the reason you want to be there. It's the same thing with China. You want to have a shop, or you want to have some influence and be able to go over to China or Korea, because if you have anything that is popping and it's popping well, there's going to be a knockoff already there.
Oh, yeah,
you want to set up
100%.
shops to get all your
100%.
you would get all of your returns.
And so what was it? To say Sean, it was dope. Sean Witherspoon, when they came up to him with the fake Witherspoon joints, and he was like, "Yo, if they faking it, that means I'm doing something right."
something
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
He's like, "Yo, at the end of the day, you getting your bread." You know what I'm saying? Like it's if I see some knockoff civil shit, I'll be like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Would it like make you kind of upset at all just because it's a knockoff?
I don't know. Nah. I wouldn't. I don't. I would not be.
Because you don't feel like you're losing some profit at all?
See, you see, from an artist perspective, when somebody copies our work, it is like one of the biggest forms of flattery. From a business perspective, it's the biggest thing that pisses you off, and you're just like, you took my shit, I want you
Yeah.
dead. But from an artist perspective, it's like, damn, I've done something so well where people thought it was like trophy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, damn, would I be pissed off? I don't think I'd be pissed off. I think I'd just be like, wow, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like, yo, because like I think a lot of the times, intellectual property is a little like, because my wife tells me all the time, I give away
You said
a
North
lot of
Korea
my shit.
popping. Yeah, they're popping hits.
North Korea. Yeah, I meant to say South Korea. I didn't even say just Korea. I was like, oh damn, South Korea.
We all know which Korea. The other
oh,
Korea doesn't
yeah.
basically exist. You
Right.
can't do shit in
Yeah.
there.
But like the biggest thing is like, yeah, I'll just
There's a pencil for you.
I would are these smelly joints?
Yes.
Whoa.
That's all I do. I just smell them. I
whoa,
barely
whoa.
use them.
My homie Super said, used to go to school with the guy that runs Bless. I spare with this, bro.
Habib?
Is that what he?
Yeah, that's what man.
Habib?
Yeah, Habib. Yeah. Woo, bro, that smells so good, dog.
Bring back memories.
Damn. Yo, this is memories, bro. Let me see this. The grape joint.
Yeah.
Wow. It smells like a popsicle, bro. It smells like an otter. What is it? The otter. Remember the otter pops?
Otter Pops?
Oh man, you Google it. And
Yeah, I'm
if
about
you
to say,
see it,
hold on.
if you see it back, wait a minute. Oh, they don't make this anymore. Oh shit. Oh, y'all got water? Any
Yeah,
water?
in the
We
fridge.
got tons of water. I give them.
Otter Pops.
It's an otter. Yeah, otter. Yeah, they're like little.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. All right.
You remember
I get it.
those, right?
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Got you. Oh man, we used to have a big box in the
The
freezer.
big
back in the
box.
day, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
I
it.
can't lie, they were kind of
The
clutch
eye-
too when them Jones
Oh,
melted
yeah.
too. Like, I ain't gonna.
That's
lie,
what
bro.
this smells like. That's what this. I remember this smelling like, yo.
Oh my.
You remember those?
What the fuck
Yo,
is
what is
that? Yeah.
Yo, what the?
Kill it.
What
Damn.
is that?
What the fuck? That is terrible.
That's an Otter box.
What the
Otter
finagle?
Pop.
Yo, what is
I remember
that,
the
bro?
Otter
Shit, bro. This shit cursed, bro.
The Otter Pops before.
That's a cursed image
Yeah,
for
fuck
sure.
That.
Before they made the icy soups, the icy pops, and then
That's
all the other
crazy.
knockoff brands, and that's what it
Smart.
was.
Oh.
Wait. They got the little pop figures of these?
They probably do.
Bruh, I'm about to.
Pop'ems? Pop.
Yeah, those little
Collectors?
Yes.
Sir Isaac Lime.
Bruh, I'm about to start.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta find those.
Yeah, that image that shit.
Yo,
just
what
cursed me
was
fucking,
that? Bruh, that's like.
That look like.
This got my heart beating a little.
Bro, I was like, I'm kind of paranoid.
That's like when you avoid it.
Yeah, it did. I just avoided
He just
it.
ignored
I was
it.
like,
As soon as he
fuck
saw it, he
that,
was like,
bro.
"Oh no,
No, sir. I'm
no."
good. I'm good.
Oh man.
I don't know, bro. I'm not clicking that, bro. What the fuck? Oh shit, man.
I have a ton of them. I also have markers. I don't.
I always got to do the Roy G. Biv. I can't leave it when it's not in order.
Got you.
Does it look better? Like, the Roy G. Biv. You remember that?
I
You
used
remember
to tell people that, and people's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "You don't know what Roy G. Biv is, bro?" They're like,
Yeah,
"Nah." I'm like,
Roy
"Bro, how
G.
do you not?
Biv.
How do you know about like these, but you don't know what Roy G. Biv is?" I'm like, "That makes no sense to
Roy
me."
G. Biv
So,
was it, bro.
yeah. You know what that is? Okay.
Oh, this is cool. I'm about to use these markers. Is it cool to use?
Yeah.
Okay. Cause this is like an OG box though.
Thank y'all for everybody that's in here, man, and kicking it with us, bro. This is
95.
great.
Where'd you find these?
At Walmart.
But the
Great
box is so old.
Yeah,
They don't really change the style.
Nah.
Oh, they left it with the OG kind of look to it. Little like, oh, I see.
As kids, that's what all we got. So
Hey, don't change it. You know what I mean? Keep your packaging.
Keys, is that his name? He said.
Two leaders and like markers and crayons like Crayola
Mm.
and Mr. Sketch have not changed.
Yeah, they haven't. Yeah.
She said
you know they got
Keys.
something good.
Used to go to school with the guy. He said,
Parents would be like,
"Oh,
"That's
got
fine,
you."
when I was a kid, I would get my kid that."
So, are you?
Mr. Sketch had a mascot.
Who? Oh, in the joint. Oh, yeah, yeah.
They just had like a character sniffing markers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, kids.
I mean,
don't
like,
do this.
if there was a guy today named Mr. Sketch, he would be sniffing markers and being like, "I'm
Yeah,
Mr. Sketch."
I don't know how I
Sketchy as
feel
shit.
about that.
Like, yo, you're sketchy, right? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
Mr.
like,
Sketch. Like, whoa, bro.
stay the fuck away
Yo,
from me. Yeah.
who are you?
Hell no.
Who's that guy in the corner? Oh, that's Mr. Sketch. All right, I'm not trying to
Fuck Mrs.
mess with that dude.
That's
Oh.
an SNL bit right there.
Yo, Rush,
Right.
Mr.
Right,
Mr.
right.
Sketch.
Oh man. So, are you doing anything for Christmas, man? Or are you just kicking it?
Oh, I'm kicking it, bro. I got
feel you.
kids, got all this, the gifts that Santa's gonna give them. Yeah, there was a whole conversation about like whether people are gonna tell their kids that Santa's real or fake.
What would you do? Would you tell your kids the truth? Are you telling your kids the truth? Or?
About Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I would let them know that it's a fabrication of the corporation from Coca-Cola.
Okay, so that's a no.
Yeah.
No, I would let them know that it is a pure design scam in order to sell.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry. I would let them know
It's real, yeah.
what the main point of Christmas, because when you make it about getting stuff, it becomes a very depressing holiday as you get older. You want to make it something more cheerful that they can appreciate more when they
get
get
that.
older. In
But
life.
as you're a
I
kid,
don't
when
want
you're a
them-
kid, you're very excited.
You're very excited
Yeah.
to get shit but when you're a kid and you first hear about Christmas, you're not excited about like, oh, I'm gonna get shit. You're more excited about like all the lore and all the holiday shit. It's like a fantasy. Everybody's LARPing. It's like, oh, this big fat guy's gonna come down a thing. There's gonna be some elves. There's gonna be some reindeer.
Yeah.
Flying through the sky. There's gonna be why this big ass tree. This tree's never here. This tree's never been in my fucking house.
Yeah.
Not one time. And now we got all these things. They're colorful. They're underneath it, and we're putting stuff on it, and we're making cookies and shit. It's weird. Everybody's having fun. It's a
I
time
can't
and
tell
period
if
that is very
you-
festive, and that's mainly what you're looking for in Christmas and like the whole family bonding. That's why when people get depressed around the holidays, it's more about the bonding more so than getting shit. And you don't want to raise very spoiled children, so you don't want to make it about Santa Claus going to give you shit. You want to make it so more
It's
about
definitely a no,
around
for
the
sure.
holiday.
Yeah, it's
He's
definitely
not
no. Yeah, he went
letting
to a
them
whole
know.
spiel. And then
I'm
your
sorry.
accent switched up too, so I can't tell if you're from London or Australia. So you know.
Oh fuck! And I not get it.
No, No, bro.
Shit.
Fuck, I was wondering how long you was gonna do that for. I was like,
Until I fucking broke.
goddamn, bro, you broke.
Then the accident left you. I think I would. I mean, for me, I've always asked my kids. You know, I'm a very. I guess I'm very California with my raising my kids. I say, they say Santa real. I said, do you think he's real? And they go, yes. And I say, well, there you go. So I'm not lying to them. I'm not. I'm letting them. I'm letting them figure it out for themselves. Like, I do like the aspect when I was a kid. It was like, damn, I got to be good.
Yeah.
Like,
facts.
Soon as like October rolled around, I was like, yep, about to be on my best behavior because it's gonna be like, look, I got a lot to look forward to. It's October, Halloween's at the end of the month.
Yep.
So I'm gonna be chilling. Then you got November, and I'm gonna have a lot of candy to eat. So I should be happy then. I'm chilling. Then we get Thanksgiving. Then I got some turkey sandwiches to look forward to all through the December. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not in a good spot right now. I'm gonna just be cool, be kicking. But I do like the whole Krampus thing or whatever the hell they doing. Where they scare the shit out of the kids and like, yo, this thing will come take your ass.
Yeah.
It ain't no fucking cold. He's gonna take you away if you ain't good.
That is something I would teach my children. I would teach them Krampus.
He just made a brilliant point that kind of just clicked in my head real quick. There's no real fun holidays for kids over the summer because that's ideally summer break.
Right.
And then all of the school days of the year have some kind of holiday to hold you off for that month.
Right.
They all got something. Yeah, Halloween in October.
Thanksgiving November. Right.
Christmas in December.
Right.
You
got New Year, kinda, yeah.
February, which was Valentine's Day.
Day.
Then you get April Fools. And then after that, it's like summertime now. Like they just have.
Then you're already back into the warm weather. Then you in May, and when you're a little older, you got to stick with the mile. You know, we happy about that. And then you got May the 4th. Yeah.
Unless you're like real redneck truck driver.
I mean, kids love that shit for the damn what is it? The fireworks, yo. The fireworks. Yeah, shit. You know, I love the fireworks, yo. Especially coming out here. I drive my ass up to that damn Pennsylvania. It's crazy in Pennsylvania. Like, when you go in, because
find some fireworks.
Yeah, so you gotta go in there, right? But you can only buy fireworks if you have an out of state ID. Because in Pennsylvania, it's illegal for them to buy fireworks and not have a permit. So they will sell to out of state people that are gonna go and get it. So when you're up there, the people who are from there can't buy them. It's crazy. It's weird.
Yeah,
and I was like,
lot,
do you have a Pennsylvania ID? And I was like, no. They're like, okay, yeah, come on in. I was like, wait, what?
Or is it New Jersey that has like that law about like smuggling?
Oh, across the.
Drug paraphernalia across. Like that's how they got Tommy Chong. I think it was either Jersey or Pennsylvania.
I don't think you could take drugs across any state.
Just like a bong or a pipe.
Oh, paraphernalia. Oh. Wow, I don't even know.
Some of them have like one of those weird laws. It's like even if you shift someone, it's either Jersey, Pennsylvania.
Really?
That would be interesting.
See, I'm
They have a bullshit firework one.
See, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to the fireworks, it's like, damn, there's no like law. Like I know, fireworks that shoot into the air are illegal in Virginia or whatever. But it's like, there's no law for me to like just have them or like going like they don't really. Bro, I see like.
A couple weeks ago on the podcast, you just buy like Tannerite or whatever. You know those things people shoot and they just blow up.
The what are they? The Roman candles?
Oh, I see. You can get that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Videos are always fun. Though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People are because everybody always ends up shooting at each other, and it's like you shooting explosives at one another. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
What humans do, you know.
Yeah.
It's called war.
Kids would always have like firecrackers. I'm like, yo, nah. Anything that has like white tape around it, keep away from me.
Yeah, that was the scariest part about growing up is when kids were like, yo, I got an M80. We can blow our hands
Yeah,
off.
the M80
Play
shit.
with it, and I'm just like, no.
There's always that kid.
You said you was that kid?
No, there was always that kid. I got an M80. I was always like, man, that's dynamite, bro.
Yeah, what the
I'm
fuck
not
is
trying
wrong
to
with
fuck with
you?
that, yo.
And we're all like young. We're all trying to be cool like back then. So we're like, hey man, I don't really care, but how about we go skateboard first and stay, see if I can tire him out.
Yeah, like oh yeah.
People whipped out bottle rockets, and I learned those
Now
things
bottle
are
rockets.
accurate. They're fun, but when you realize like, oh, it doesn't matter if you aim it in this direction.
Oh, it does what it does. Yeah.
He said
Bottle-
that's been a German thing for ages. Really?
I think blowing.
What has been?
What's been a German
Krampus.
thing for ages?
Is this in Krampus?
I don't know.
Oh, Krampus. Oh, okay.
Then you got what is it that in the somewhere in the Netherlands where they got that whole blackface fucking
Bruh,
thing.
that's I think that's Denmark.
Denmark,
I think
yes.
that's Denmark, yeah. Somebody came
So-
on my stream too and was like, I was like, so what is this about?
Around Christmas time.
Yes,
Christmas time,
it is
yeah.
like so. Apparently, they're saying it has a little slave that's they call him Mr. Pete,
Some
Pete,
shit. I
Pete
don't
or
know
something like
his
that.
name, yeah.
But
Yep,
yes,
Yep.
yes. Yeah, and that's
Oh
a
my gosh.
yes.
That shit's fucked up.
That
Yes.
shit is crazy. Look at this shit. Look
Yeah.
at this shit right here.
And they will fight. They
They
fight
will-
tooth
they
and
really
nail
will.
about
They
that
really
shit.
will.
And there's black folks that live out there that's like, yo, like, what y'all doing, bruh? And they do that shit every year.
It's like when D went in blackface and Always Sunny.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes. That's literally what they look like too.
Bro,
Unreal.
what the fuck, son?
Yeah.
Look at this dumb shit,
Yeah.
bro. Like, what the?
Holy shit.
Yep.
That shit's crazy, bro.
Yeah. And they got so
They love it.
yeah.
He literally just put shoe polish on his face. He didn't give a
And they fighting that shit today
Yeah.
in goddamn 2019.
They think that shit is like, I don't know.
It's like no, it's the same fucking Confederate flag shit.
Yep.
It's our tradition. It's tradition. Blah, blah. And it was a tradition created during a racist period
Yeah.
when there were y'all
That's
like you know what I'm saying.
People understand about certain traditions. If it offends somebody and it offends a certain time period, maybe it's time to let that shit go.
Facts.
Because nobody should be offended by a fucking tradition.
After like 2 to 3 generations, give up on a tradition. Make your own now.
Exactly. Like it's the whole entire thing with Columbus. It's like nobody likes a Columbus holiday anymore. Let it go.
It's not a
It's
thing.
Yo, I remember when I was a kid, like Columbus was like that naked, man.
Yeah, facts.
Because they told
Facts.
you the hardcore shit. They
tricked
said,
us.
They
Yeah.
said he dropped down.
They
He
tricked
said,
us.
fuck
man.
yeah, this is America now.
And we're like, wow, what an amazing guy.
And then you find out that he was an idiot.
And he was fucking
He thought he was an idiot.
mass murdering
Yeah.
people, raping and
Translations also make him out to be so much worse than he like. I'm not saying he was good, but like if you just read the normal Italian or Spanish,
we got a Columbus
version of
supporter
it,
over here.
It's not as wild. No, I'm just saying. Like people made it out like because like he just said he was stupid. Like he kind of was not that bright and like.
Yeah, but it's the biggest
translations just
issue
have
with
words
him-
for certain things, so it just sounded more
Yeah,
authoritarian in our language.
the
and
biggest
he still did
issue-
some fucked up shit, but
yeah, the
just
biggest
like-
issue was the genocide and cutting people's hands
that
off
was
and
all, that was all, yeah.
and the raping and the
It's when people were like, oh, he tried to like enslave them and all that shit. It's like, no, that's not actually in his original documents. It's we didn't have a real word for what he was saying, so in our English language, we just have like all these authoritarian things.
Didn't he
So
speak
just-
Spanish?
just like,
He was a Spaniard. Yep.
all of his documents were in like Spanish or something.
Yeah, we
The
don't know.
English translation
Can
is
we-
a little wild.
Can we translate that easy nowadays?
Nowadays.
Nowadays, yeah, that's how people kind of find out. Like, oh, don't go by the English one. He's still fucked up, but it's like.
And
He's
then
a
you
little
look at a
more
bunch of
fucked up than
Bibles and you're like, God damn, we fucked up there too, but nobody wants to take that shit back home.
Yeah, right.
It's like-
Because you know,
it's crazy.
the Tower of Babel somehow. That's how we all know.
Yeah.
The what?
Oh, you know about the Bible, the Tower of Babel.
Mm-mm.
So like when they were trying to build that tower to heaven, and then God was like, "Oh, humans are working together to get to me, so they can be in heaven with me." Fuck that! Ha! Hit them with a beam. Now you all speak different languages, and you don't know what you're saying. Go build different countries and have war with each other.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah.
so
Okay.
When people are like, God is against war, I'm like, no, God's kind of for war. He's for fucking war. He kind of pushed Hebrews to
All
kill a
this
lot of
other
people.
shit, like, it's
Right.
just like-
He's a war god. Like it is what he is. He's a war god. It's not in all of like you have your deities.
You know he's a
And then you
war
have-
god when the Bible actually mentions other gods, and he also says don't worship any other gods.
All war gods say that. Do you not realize that in every single pantheon, the war god is always the god that says, "Don't worship any god except for fucking me." And all the other gods are like, "I get along with that god." The war god's like, "I don't get along with fucking nobody.
Mm.
Kill them all."
Wild. You were one of those kids I tried to avoid probably when I was younger.
Oh man, we would always light bottle rockets and tear them off the stick and throw them at each other's feet.
Yeah, that's a little
What
wild.
the?
Ryan
fuck
is white, so that's a thing. But yeah.
That's
so.
like throwing snakes at each other. That's
Yeah,
like,
I just always blame you guys for
You know
everything.
that kids back in the day used to throw snakes at each other.
Huh?
Fucking the game
Yeah,
that
right?
you just got here, that weird fucking battle thing. They have snake archers that'll just shoot snakes at people.
Yes, they actually used to do that.
Oh my
Besides like infested cattle and dead bodies that were infested with plague, they would also
when they
put
put 'em in
snakes
the,
into.
In the trebuchet.
Yes, and they would do that. They would launch fucking snakes.
What a terrible job that must have been to be the guy who
The
had to
laws
like,
of
wrangle all the
snakes.
snakes. Imagine having to put like 3 hours of work in to finally get a python just for your king to launch it over a wall.
Oh my god.
Like, bro, it took me a week to track that thing down and trap it. You just launched it over a fucking
Here's the
wall
thing.
and missed.
It was only to cause panic. It wasn't like you only had to do it so many times.
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't like, okay, every single time we're gonna get the snakes. It's like,
I mean,
no,
you were
this
as
is
dumb as people back
this is
then.
only
You
gonna
see
work.
Snakes falling out of the sky.
you're like, oh shit, it's
You're
raining
online.
snakes. This is, what did we do? What god did we fuck up with?
I'm freaked out if I see more than one spider in the same area.
It's facts. You're thinking building like a little fucking city, and they finally communicate with each other. You said, oh shit, they're building a society. Time to get the raid.
That turned out dope.
Thank you. Somebody asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fly.
Hey,
You just need to add
I
more
love
shit to it. You just gotta be more creative and now start pushing it more.
I'm gonna start doing more.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta. Oh, the more the whole.
Yeah, you gotta do some stuff like because
This whole thing keeps connecting.
Fuck yeah.
Damn, it's hard.
Yeah, that's not. Usually people think, like when I tell them to fill in the white spaces, I'm like, yeah, you can still just do more dope shit. And you have so much space.
Wish y'all give Aaron a mic. Well, we only have 3 mics, unfortunately. So yeah.
Oh shit! So we
Yeah.
just had a conversation. They didn't hear shit. I'm sorry.
What?
When Aaron was talking about that thing.
Oh yeah,
with
they
the
can't hear
snakes
him.
and,
I'm sorry, guys. Well, yeah, we only got 3 mics today. Sorry, but
Oh damn, we
I
were
mean,
just
we
talking.
have 4, but he doesn't want to get the call to
It's
Oh.
just a lot of work.
yeah, I get that.
All these cords
He
are, like,
he doesn't want to get the mic, guys. So don't blame
all these
us.
cords are specifically for the podcast. My other cord is like for when I go and actually do real audio work.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's so different, and
I get that.
I don't like taking it out of a spot and having to put it back.
It's a lot of work. I get that.
It is. For me,
How much do
not
they
so
cost?
much.
How much do these cords cost?
Cords?
Yeah, for the mics.
They're pretty cheap. Like, well, not that cheap. I don't
Can
know.
I get
You
them from
a good
Walmart?
pack for like 30, 40 bucks, maybe.
Can I get them from Walmart?
I hate
When I get them from Walmart.
And I gotta
Hey shit, Wally World. Okay.
So another question that I have is when it, because I guess I deal with this too, because you said like don't give up, but like I'm pretty sure your ventures were not easy.
Oh no.
When
Not at all.
what was it that just kept you pushing? Like, cause I know you had days where you were like, man, fuck this shit. I don't even want to do this no more. Like, what was it that made you kind of be like, nah, fuck that. We're gonna keep going.
I have an unwavering optimism,
That's good.
and it's just like very. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but I just keep pushing. That's all it is, bro. Like, it's been. It hasn't been the easiest. It hasn't been just like, oh, I open the doors and you know, it was just like, oh, I got customers lining up out, you know, down the street.
Yeah.
But I just take every day as something I learn. I'm just trying to learn every day, trying to like make the connections and just link up with people. Cause like I said, again, the network is everything, yo. The network is everything. And I also think that it's a very it's really hard to because social media is crazy. Like it will have you feeling some type of way about yourself if you're on there too long.
Definitely.
You know, so it's like
You start feeling all insecure, like
Yes.
this isn't a good idea.
Yes.
Second thoughts, guessing,
Yep.
self-doubt.
Yep, all that. And it's like it gets to that point where you're just like you have to start to, because you need social media obviously to grow anything you're doing. It's just a part of what it is nowadays. But just getting yourself to understand that, hey, you do gotta just like, you know, compartmentalize your thoughts and say, hey, look, this is that's this I'm me. Like, I have my own race I'm running, so let me just do that. One of the hardest, I always tell folks to just have your blinders on. Like, you know, you're worried about how what you're doing every day. At the end of the day, you're only trying to compete with the person that's looking back at you. And that's what you have to understand.
Yeah.
You just got to get better every day. And whatever anybody is doing or whatever you're doing, understand that content is everything and consistency is everything.
Facts.
You just need to be consistent. If you do something consistently for a year, you will be amazing at it by the time you're done. I don't care what it is. You could art, fashion, whatever. You know, consistency over intensity. I like to say too. Just stay consistent. You know, some days you will need to take a break. Don't get down on yourself where you feel like you haven't done something in a day or you didn't do anything today. Okay, just make sure you just double up the next day. But don't get down on yourself about it. And this comes with creating, yo. It's just the whole creating aspect of what everyone out here is trying to do is something that's really, really dope, especially in this area.
Do you think it's a lot of camaraderie in this area? Do you think it's gotten better? Do you think
I feel like it's gotten a lot better, actually.
It's gotten a lot better. I do too. It's gotten a lot
gotten a lot
better.
better.
It's gotten a whole
What do you
lot
think is
better.
the factor behind that?
What I used to, at the shop, I know I had our first pop-up event or whatever, and I was in like the summer of 2018, and I kind of was pushing on. I was noticing that there's a lot of, if you have a buddy performing, or if people have, they're performing at your venue, they'll invite their family, their people out, and as soon as they're done performing, they leave.
They leave. Oh, I was just talking to an artist
Yeah,
about that. Dude.
and I think that's shitty. Number one, let me say that. So if you're somebody who does that, don't do that shit no more.
Please.
If you hear me talking right now, don't do that shit anymore. Support the other artists that are performing as well. It's crazy how it happens because it's like, a lot of the times I tell people that are putting on shows at my spot, and I say, hey man, this is your show you're putting together. Like, yep, but I'm having other people perform too, and this and that or whatever. And I'm like, bro, if you really want to have the best crowd for yourself, it's crazy. Even though you don't want putting this shit on, you need to perform first, or you need to perform in the middle or second, because these people come through and they will have their people come through, and as soon as they're done, they leaving. So then by the end of an event, you have the quote-unquote headliner or the person that put together the whole shit having a quarter of the crowd.
Yep.
And that's fucked up.
Yep.
And I hate when that happens. So, and I've seen it happen at not just my venue, I've seen it happen at the Girani Coffee House shows, and and it's crazy to me how that happens. But if we all do want everyone in this area you want to get on, again, people don't understand. Your network is very important.
Yep. Yes.
Like, show that you are supporting somebody. It's a very vulnerable thing to present your art with a microphone in your hand and everybody's in the same boat. That's what you can all relate on. Like, we are presenting our art together, and I'm going to be here to support you. I hope you're here to support me as well. And guess what? If we all working together, it'll grow a lot bigger and be a lot stronger, and you'll be getting this whole area, putting this whole area on to where once one person gets on, or when they at shows, or if somebody comes to see a person perform, they're going to be like, damn, all these people are out here really supporting each other. I'm going to come back for something else. There's probably going to be somebody else out here that's doing something while I scoop this dude up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I just really want. I've been pushing at the shop. That's what I've been pushing. Every show I've ever had. Every show I've ever had at the shop, I always tell folks, hey, bro, like, stay. Like, don't leave. Stay. Yo, you performed? I'll guilt trip the hell out of you. If you're at my shop and you walking out after you perform with your people, I'm going to guilt trip the shit out of you. I'll be like, yo, you want to leave? Oh, you leaving? Oh, what about all the other people performing? They was here for you? Yep. And they're like, yeah, I'll stay. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you should call your people back here too. Like, if you come in here tonight, come kick it. Like, be here. We close it. My show doesn't run past midnight. You know what I'm saying? It's enough time for you to be able to be like, look, I want to go here, or I want to go to this bar after. But okay, bet, do that. You feel me? Just like, but just support the people. And
I think that's what it is. When we had set out to do this podcast and do everything, that was like one of the main objectives. We wanted to give something or a light in which mostly all of Northern VA or any artist or anybody that does anything creative could come onto the show and use this as like a network. Like, oh, you've known these guys, you've seen these guys, and we could kind of be like a factor that helps link that. Right. And we've noticed that camaraderie is basically what has made everything here a whole lot better, because beforehand it would be like that. Lots of people will come, they don't know you, I'm not going to stay for them. I don't know.
Right.
It's like most of these people that are actually doing these performances, or most of the things that we go to, hang out, we go to each other's houses, we do a lot of stuff together. You find out we're not so different. We have a Twitter in which we all communicate with each other, make jokes, and they're inside jokes. Right. It's no longer just like, oh, I know him, he's a dope artist. That's about it.
I think that's a huge part of it, yo. Just legitimately building camaraderie, because then it comes to like, oh, if one gets on, they're going to be like, then my peoples, I'm going to make sure they get on too. Or I'm going to have them opening for me or whatever. You feel me? That's how you build your shit. That's how Atlanta blew up, bro.
Yeah, camaraderie,
like, right? Yo, that's how they did it, bro. They was helping each other out, dog. Yep. And it's like you really got to see that. You really do got to see that. You got to be like, damn, wow, these folks is really out here just, letting people know, like, hey, that's my man's too. Oh, let him do a little something. Let him perform. Let him open up for me. Let this, like, you know what I mean? So I feel like if that's being done, man, like, it needs to be something that keeps going.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I was telling people a lot about that, like, cause everyone knew how I felt about the DMV at first. Like, I was like, bro, not even just DMV, but just Northern Virginia in general. It's like, bro, there's a reason why the entertainment industry was not looking at us, and it's like, I think it's getting a lot better, cause like we had a show this is a prime example. When was that show? That last show, not the last show, not the condition one, but the one before that.
You
When
mean
we
the
went
one in
to
Manassas?
Manassas, yeah.
Yeah,
When
Manassas. It wasn't a good setup because he didn't link together artists that were actually.
No.
And he didn't. He does. They don't do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
When you do these things, you have to do them for the right reasons.
It was weird because it was like we performed and we killed it, but everybody was just standing there, like no one really.
No one's
and it was
vibing.
Like you paid to come into the show. Like I don't get like.
The stage away from the speakers.
Yeah.
Wait, the
Yeah.
stage
The stage
away
was
from
away from the speakers. The speakers was on this side. The stage was on this side. So me and him was here, and we know music, bro. Like we listen to music all the time. You can sonically hear the difference. It
Yeah.
didn't match up. Like it's like you hear them on this side, but they're right here, and it's like the vibe is
It
so
was more
off.
so like
The stage was also behind the speakers.
if you've ever
Yeah.
been. There's like a difference between like performances, like when you're doing it in certain areas versus like when it's like one of those showcase ones where people like paid so tickets and it's just like
Right,
they
right,
gave you a DJ and it's just some like sketchy company that just put all these people out
right,
there,
right.
and none of them know each other, not a single one, and that's mainly what it is. And it's those type of shows where you're just like, okay, let's leave because it's already like there's no vibe, there's no scene, it's not fun, and you just basically tricked a bunch of people into selling you tickets.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
I think that's the problem with Virginia. It was just
That
like a lot
was
of the
problem, but
venues
not
and
anymore.
stuff like
Not
that.
anymore. We're changing that, and that is the thing. We're no longer doing that whole shiesty. I'm only here to sell this thing and doing this event. And we're using camaraderie and we're actually making a difference.
Right. And that's what like that, and that's been like my biggest thing with the shop is I saw that there was really nothing, no place for a lot of people to perform, and I was just like,
It was key feature. Nobody was allowing it because
Right.
the cops would come through and they would shut it all
Shut it
down.
down.
But the more people we got to know and the more owners we got to know, we started realizing what areas were good
right.
and which areas were terrible to do without.
See, what's good with me is I have a good relationship with the Manassas City Police Department. So and I knew that was going to be something I needed to do
Yeah.
from the beginning.
Facts.
But that just comes with age too. It comes with maturity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of times it's all this fuck 12 shit, and I'm just like, I know a lot of times, but it's like, yo, if somebody beating your ass and you see a cop running by you, you gonna say fuck 12. You gonna be running over there like, hey, this dude's keep following me. I've seen him many times, but it's like, yo, a lot of these cops, especially the ones that are in Manassas, you know, they ain't trying to. The ones that I've dealt with, they ain't trying to do too much if you ain't trying to do too much. So it's like, I just knew the relationship with them was gonna be important. So when they hear an event going on at Civil or they get some random person, oh, they doing this, they usually don't really even come by. They just go, that's just Civil, they just doing their event. That's good.
That's what's
Cam
up.
got it.
That's what's
Like,
up.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is
So it's
what's
like,
up.
I always make sure people understand, like, you know, don't be loud on the street. You know, we're trying to keep it cool, keep the door closed, blah, blah, blah. 'Cause it's a weird law in Manassas. Like, if you have something that's happening within your place, you have to adhere to certain noise ordinances. But if you have an event outside, there is no noise ordinance for that. You can be as loud as you want.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird.
Makes sense.
So it's all about just like, I don't know, understand. But I'm glad it's like I can really see the growth here, and I feel like 2020 is about to be a big year, man.
I said that
Like,
too. I don't know what
for-
it is,
I-
bro,
I
but
don't
I
know
just
what.
feel like 2020 is gonna be really good for
Something
like
crazy going on.
Yeah, like I just feel like 2020 gonna be a great year because like this year's been up and down for me, but like I've had a lot of dubs, but like it's just there's been L's, but it's like more so the fact I don't know what it is about next year, but I feel like next year's gonna be a really fucking good year for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I've.
And, you know, dude gets out of office, you get a new dude in office. So it's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
Mentality of the whole entire nation, morality. Moral goes up. Morale is good.
Morale goes up. Everybody's feeling good. And I always say like this, like 2020 is just gonna be my year to do, because I'm gonna be, if you're in this area, if you're wherever, you're gonna see a lot more advertising and all this. I'm actually gonna start all my growth, anything I've done this past year, it's all been organic. I have not done any marketing. I have not done any ads. I have not done anything because I wanted to figure everything out, and I was gonna take those L's just to be like, look, I'm not gonna be pushing something in people's face that I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
And now I really know what I want my store to be. And we're moving into the retail field, and I'm talking with shoe companies and all that right now. So a lot of clothing companies as well. I'm going to trade shows all next year. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of stuff in there. I'm talking with Brain Dead and Pleasures and Rude and all these brands to be in there. So we're gonna, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
He's gonna have a million questions for you. He's gonna want to take
Before
my spot.
he asks you those million questions, who are some of your favorite clothing designers out right now?
What's crazy about it? What it was crazy about it is like everything that I think about when I think about clothes, it's never any like specific thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I knew for a fact I just want to wear a lot of my shit.
Which is 10 times better.
Right. And it's just like, I got to that point, I want to say sometime last year. I had been dropping a couple shirts here and there, and they were doing well. And I kept having people come in asking for those shirts. Like, Civil, are you going to do a brand? Oh, do you have any more Civil shirts? Oh, do you have these? Do you have these? I did 2 drops. I did one on 4th of July. First year I was open, I did a drop on 4th of July this year. And they sold out. And I was like, oh, okay, bet. Like, yeah, I need to hurry up and do this and start, designing. I got a whole, bro, I've got, like, just for Civil by itself, golly, I have so many designs that are just sitting, just waiting. So.
Perfect time? Like, waiting for the perfect time?
Oh, no, not even that. It's just like, I'm just waiting to get it, I'm just waiting to drop it and shoot it all. I'm going out to LA in February, linking up with fam and stuff, but I'm going to get a lot of my samples made before then, and I'm going to just take it out there and shoot. I got friends that do a lot of shooting or shoot for, magazines and all this kind of shit that are out there now that I'm going to link up with when I'm out there, and just throw the shit out there. Like, hey, brothers, I want to do, I like candid shit too, so I just want to just, like, have them walk with me and we go places and just, like, have them take shots and just shoot. Yeah, just kick it and just, like, vibe out. I might skate a little bit again.
You skate too?
Oh, yeah. Well, growing up in California, bro, you didn't skate. You just kind of like, what are you doing? Like, why are you just standing over there, kid? Why don't you have a skateboard in your hand? Like, what?
Especially with all the
You're like,
places
oh,
that you said
shit,
you
let me
went
go
to.
get a skateboard. Yeah, like, yo. But, yeah, so it was like, I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to get back into skating, like, a lot, like, more heavy.
Hey, Jay Jones in the building. What's good, y'all?
What's up, Jay Jones?
Good, Jay Jones.
What's up, Jay Jones?
Yeah, Jay Jones.
Yeah. Joe's?
Jones.
Jones, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great graphic designer. He's awesome.
Word. I want to know all the graphic designers. I want to know all of them. I love the fact, I feel a lot of times folks are just too, I always want to just like say like, if I hire a graphic designer, I like their work. And if they have a lot of their own personal work on their pages, I'm just like, all right, bet I want to use you. Like, oh, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I want the shirt to say this thing, but do whatever you want.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I
get
wanted
that.
to do
so
whatever you want.
give them like, so if you do work with someone like
Photographer,
you want something, but
anything.
you still give them a lot of free
I
range.
see what you do already.
Yeah.
So why would I hire somebody to come in and do something from my point of view?
Yeah.
Rather than just saying, if I hire a dude to do a lookbook, I want him to do the lookbook.
Got
Like,
you.
what direction do you want? I'll be there for them if they have any questions, because a lot of times a lot of photographers will be like, look, you got to give me some direction. And I'm like, of course, I'll do that. But I still want you to have your whole, like, the way you shoot. I want that to be a thing, yo.
Yeah.
So it's like, I do like that ability to let people do their thing. So that's why I want to know all the graphic designers. I want to know anybody doing anything. I just want to know them all. So it's like, I hit them up.
That's
Yo,
good,
come through, do something for me.
It's good because I feel like sometimes you get like people they want just all creative control, and you sound like you more so want to collaborate instead. Of
Yeah,
just
100%. That's my whole. My big thing is I'm not the ego isn't there. I'm not an ego-driven person.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. I don't need to be the man. I'm building this so my kids can be the man and women.
Facts.
You feel me? So it's like I'm the one who's gonna go through all the hardship and all the struggle, and I want my kids to take it and build it into what it need to be. I want them to be the ones that get all the accolades. You feel me? Like that's just how it comes, and that's just always been my mentality.
What's poppin',
What's up, man? How are you?
See why.
Oh, the White Claw mango on deck.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
You want one?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Hello,
White
everyone.
Claw.
What's poppin', Rex? Cool, man. I saw y'all. I got the notification because I'm subscribed and shit.
Oh yeah, real
I
shit.
was at work. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, bro. This Twitch shit. Have you ever been on Twitch before?
And I was chilling. She was like, aren't they live tonight? I was like, oh. I was like, look it up. Like, oh, shit.
I've never been on Twitch before.
Bro, I just want to explain.
This is like the first time I've been on Twitch watching y'all past stuff. I watched the Dora joint. I watched the
That was wild.
and then I was looking at the time of how long it was.
Yeah.
I was like 5 hours. What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I was like,
if it's
damn.
good, we keep it going.
Like pinpoint stuff like at a good scenes.
Yeah, that's how you cut clips.
Oh yeah, I saw the clips too. Yeah, the
yeah,
clips was dope. Yeah.
Clips makes it 10 times better. Yeah, I think you could do that. Yeah. But no, the reason I'm asking, cause like I do Twitch, but like, cause like I wanted to. I'm telling so many people about Twitch, and
I don't even know how to do that shit yet, bro.
I told you I gotta come to the crib. I'll I'll teach you all that. But yeah, no. The reason I'm asking, cause it's like literally I started Twitch back in February.
Yeah.
And everybody that knows about Twitch is like. They say the first thing they say, "Oh, it's a video game." Yeah, but like you can do other shit.
Right,
on
right.
there. Like I do cooking on there. I do. I go in the studio a lot on there. Like the studio sessions have been getting a lot better. I leveled up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
But it really helps a lot of people because like even if you're making clothes, it's like it just kind of expands into a whole other territory that you never would see. Because I'm trying to bring so many people on Twitch. So one day you may like do a photo shoot or you may do like some clothing. And you be like, all right, fuck it, let's do this real quick. Like you don't know where to take you.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I would definitely say, you know, if you ever are interested, you should look into it because like it helped me out. And not just that, this is probably like the only social media I've really got a bag from because like it helped me pay like my bills and shit like that.
That's
So yeah,
dope.
because people come through and they can donate to you.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's like if you have an event, think about like if you because I know you do throw
Right.
events. Because I was telling
Right.
Gary about that shit. I was like, yo, if you have events, like just imagine like you know you got a laptop
Just
in the
put
back,
it- yeah,
and
put it
then
up
that
and
shit's,
just let
like,
people just
streaming.
see.
So, like, I would love to like we'll talk about all that.
Yo,
but, like,
yeah,
I would love to like
man.
I would love to
Yo,
set
give
that
me a
up.
hit, bro.
Right now, my man right here in front of me. This guy's like, I don't know. He gets
I want to know all of it
I got you, bro.
because I've been getting hip to. I fell into the whole everybody saying like you got to get a what is it, the new thing?
TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you got to get TikTok.
TikTok is wavy right now too.
Yeah. The organic interaction.
And going live, definitely
Twitch is. Oh, I definitely fuck with that.
I'm a Periscope guy, but now
Periscope.
I'm
Wow.
converting to
I forgot about Periscope.
Twitch because
Damn.
it's the wavy.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
man Rex, he was like, bruh, he hopped in my live. He was like, bruh, if you don't stop this shit.
Yo, get off of this shit.
Instagram Live, and there's nothing wrong with Instagram Live at all. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that,
Instagram Live,
but
it's only lasts for a couple minutes.
yeah, it's with Twitch. You can just go on, and like I said,
Yeah, that's you. Mine's up here.
I met so
I
many.
may not put it
different
over this
people,
side.
man, like, it's insane.
Like, oh, hey. Hey, no.
White Claw, bro. Yeah, no, I met so many different people. Like I got people that come in my joint from India, people that come in my joint from Denmark, people that come in my
That's
joint
super
from
dope.
Germany. Yeah,
Oh, I love that.
It kind of that's what made me confident about doing music because I stopped doing music for a minute because like I don't want to bring the whole situation down, but like I was going through like depression very bad, and like I just was thinking I was in my head. I was just like, bro, like nobody's listening to my shit, nobody fuck with my shit, like. What's the point? But then like it got to a point where I was telling myself, bro, keep going. And people on like Twitch was like, dog, like what are you doing? Like,
Right.
do it. And every so often I do this thing called Therapy Sundays. And every Sunday I literally get on there and I talk to people about problems. Some people random people come and be like, yo, I got an issue. Can you talk to me about this? And I talk to them about it.
I would love to do that. That's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
sick.
like-
Everybody that I'm with, bruh, they be like, it's Therapy Sundays. I be geeking, bruh.
Yo, that's hard, bruh.
They
Yeah.
start pulling out their phones, bruh. I be
It's
geeking,
lit,
bruh.
bro. Like I play music in that joint. Like I play all the homies' music. So
Mm.
like I get all these random people that come in and they're just like, who's this or what's that? I make random playlists. And
Oh, I see.
They're like, what's this? So it's like even with the clothing line, like randomly I can just do Therapy Sunday and be like, yo, I just met up with Cam. Blah 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 blah, and then pull it up because you never know. Somebody may see that shit on Twitch and be like, "Hey, let's buy something."
Yeah.
So like, because like somebody in here named Ryan, he came in here, he bought their shit. So
Right.
it's like it opens up a whole new territory. So like whenever you have an event or anything, like I said, we'll talk about all that later. But I think it'd be a really good idea to kind of start, like, because it's like. Sometimes I think people get discouraged because they like only see like 5 people may be in it or whatever. I'm like, bro, that don't matter. Just keep fucking going.
No,
bro.
you
Like,
just-
don't
yeah,
matter.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
Keep going. None of that shit matters. Who's in there? Because next thing you know, probably 5 months down the line, you got 15 people in your shit now.
That's
So
real.
it's like, yeah,
That's real. Like I
it's
said,
good.
consistency.
Exactly.
And creating
Exactly.
content. If you consistently create content, number one, you get better at it every time you do it. And then you're just kind of building that audience. You have those people that go like, oh, this. If you say, I'm going to do this every Monday, starting at this time, and for a Monday you do it, somebody tunes in, then they don't tune in the following Monday, but then they come back that third Monday, and you doing it on that Monday,
Facts.
and you doing it again. Then they may fall off for a week or 2 or 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, and they come back and you still doing it on that Monday. They're gonna be like, all right, this dude's consistent. Yeah, this dude's consistent. And I gotta go back and I gotta watch because he's been consistent. So they've been. So I really see that like being something that's dope because I've been actually waiting to do something with my wife. We were trying to do a little podcast joint.
Word.
Yeah. So, but it was just like, all right, we gotta have the time. You know, we got a little 1-year-old,
Of course.
and like. And I was like, man, I ain't even tripping. Like, I'll do, especially if it's on like this type of feel where it's like a live kind of streaming joint. If the baby starts screaming, that's real life.
Yeah.
Like, if we gotta
Dre's
be like,
baby be
yo,
screaming. My homie is in here now.
Yo.
Like his baby in the back
real.
screaming.
So
We
it's
still
like,
be
yo, like show people what real life is, bruh. Like if you taking care of your kids, people, you have that whole audience who understands. They're gonna be like, they're gonna have people be like, oh, I don't want to hear that kid and leave. But there will be people like, this is like some real shit.
Yeah,
They're real.
yeah, like,
They're like gonna
I'm
show you
good.
that oh, the baby's crying or the dog is barking. Like we like, what the hell? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just like what it is.
It's
So
real life.
I'm really interested in this.
I got you because that was another thing I was gonna ask. You know, because once again, like with us, because I've been to Civil a couple times, and I meant to ask you though, were you at any point in Richmond a lot around some time? Because I feel like I don't know if you were around when Epic Fest was going.
Nah. No.
Okay.
Because Epic Fest was a festival that they were doing, but then they didn't do it
Yeah, they
the
stopped
past
doing it.
like 2 years or something like that.
Yeah.
I was talking to.
That'd be dope if they returned it for next year, like the return of Epic
I don't
Fest.
think it's coming back, bro.
What days did they use? Because
It
like
used to be in the summer, but I don't remember where it
it
was.
was like crazy hot like all the
Yeah.
time.
It was because they had different venues and shit.
Mhm.
But it was just like sometimes it was hit or miss. You feel
Oh,
me?
I see, I
Like,
see.
You know, but for the most part, it was a great idea. It sparked.
But that's all the organizers. Like
Yeah.
you may have people that try to do something which is dope and it's a valiant effort, but you do gotta have folks that are just like kind of they do lessons learned after every single one. It's a whole meeting of like, all right, what did we learn this year?
Yep.
What do we got to do? Because I mean, with a festival, it should be like the festival ends, and that literally that next like week, y'all starting on next year.
Facts.
I mean, that's just how
Facts,
you gotta roll. Because if you ain't rolling like that, then it's not gonna work. You gotta be putting it together. Because like, I have a whole like capsule I'm doing for something in the water that I started last April. So something in the water came. I said I gotta be part of this shit next year. I posted on our page. I said Civil will be doing something in the water next year. And that day I posted that shit, I started working on my shit for something in the water this year or 2020. So it's like you gotta be like that because at the end of the day, it's like think about if you give yourself this much time to work on something,
Exactly.
you're scrambling. You're like trying to put it
And it's not
together.
gonna be the best
And
work.
it's not gonna be the best work. But if you give yourself a whole year, you can just keep adding to it. You can perfect this one thing that's done, but then you go, oh wait, I can add this thing. Oh, I'm gonna add to it. I'm gonna add to it. Then by the time it rolls around, you feel like you have so much put into it that you just gotta just let people see that shit.
Yep.
You ain't gotta do nothing. You're like, oh, that connects to that. People can be like, well, this connects to oh my. Yo, how you think of that shit? Yo, I'm like, randomly, I was in the shower 2 months ago and that came to me. But good thing I gave myself that much time to get that shit going, you know? So you never know. So, like, it is a cool thing to be able to know where you're going. If you, because planning your year out, and I always tell folks, yo, even if it's aspirations, dog, like, just plan your shit out. Just be like, I want to be in LA in March of next year. And just go, like, that's what I'm going to try to do. And let me tell you this, like, when you get your tax return, don't go and blow it.
If you get your tax return, damn.
Yeah. If you don't owe nothing. If you, that's, if you ain't, that's tough. But if you getting something, like, I always tell folks, if you got $300, like, a round trip will get you to, $300 get you a round trip to Cali, bro.
Yeah.
Like, straight flight. Like, there and back.
Yep.
So it's like, that $300 ain't shit on the real when you think about it. Just buy that ticket. Just buy, and it's like you will see these people and you be like, how is this dude traveling all over the world? And it'd be just a dude that has a regular little job, he chilling. But it's like because he saves his money to travel. He ain't buying all the Yeezys, he ain't buying all the crazy cars. My homeboy drives a Civic, but that nigga been to fucking Bali, 2-3 times in his lifetime, because that's what he does, or that's what she does. They just they travel. So it's all about understanding where you want to go and being disciplined. You see that? You know what I'm saying? So discipline, like discipline is a huge thing.
Yeah. I battle with discipline a lot.
And we all do. And it's like, don't feel bad if you fall off one day, like I just said. Like, don't feel bad if you maybe on one day you didn't get what you wanted to get done, but just understand that and know that, have that that inner monologue.
Yeah.
Right. But inner monologues are being lost now. Yeah. Because I remember when I was younger, and I'm a little older than a lot of people, but I remember, nowadays kids have no downtime for their own thoughts. There is no inner monologue anymore for kids because at any time you have a downtime or any downtime, where you at? You're on your phone. Yeah. Any kid walking to school, anytime you're walking from class to class, anytime you're on the toilet, anytime you are on your phone. So there's never a time to hear that inner voice inside of you and talk to yourself. Right. And then you feel lost because you don't know yourself.
The inner voice becomes a stranger, and it's like, dang, I don't even like this.
That?
I don't like this nigga, bruh. Where's my phone at?
Where's my phone? Where's my phone? I haven't been able to have a conversation and be able to get to know this inner person that I'm hearing, and the kids don't know what that is. Yeah. So then you get this whole thing where we're having a lot of mental health issues nowadays, and the social media aspect of everything I feel is a major part of that, and we all know that because there's no time for any kid, man. You think about these kids in middle school and they're freshmen in high school, that the people that say there's an issue with bullying. Yeah, there was bullying back in the day, but when you went home, the bullying stopped on the real.
Exactly.
But now, bullying don't stop. They hop on. Exactly. There's never any time to where you are not connected or see. I remember when I used to sit back in the day, bro, and there was a girl I liked in school, and I remember being in my room just sitting there looking up at the ceiling, just playing my CDs or playing and just thinking about like, what is she doing right now? Yeah. But now you can see everything everybody doing at all points. Yep. Where they posted.
Where is she at?
Right?
On Snap.
Oh, that's what she on Snapchat. Oh, this and all that. Like, it's wild.
Instagram. Oh, she with her friend. What?
Yeah. And you're just and the FOMO, and then you got the FOMO shit setting in, and it's just like this shit just builds on itself, yo. It just builds on itself, and it's like it's very unhealthy, and that's why I always tell parents or other people that are my age, or when you do have kids, everybody wants to say like, oh, my kid's not gonna have this, my kid's not gonna have that phone, my kid. It's like, no, you can't fight progress, right? You can never fight where we're headed. You can't fight the technology. Exactly. You cannot fight it. So you need to find a way to work with the technology and be able to build your kids to understand it, to say, hey, look, there has to be a time where we put this stuff down. We have to have a time where we sit down and we just talk. Or we got to do this, we got to do that. That's what you have to fight to do. All these people just talking about, oh, my kids just ain't going to have this. They just ain't going to do this. Well, your kids going to go, then they go behind your back and do it. Exactly. So it's like you got to fucking just be able to understand, like, yo. Yeah, like I'm hiding a cell phone. They don't hide porno magazines under your mattress. Now there's going to be a cell phone hidden under the mattress.
Literally, my mom used to not let me listen to albums that had like explicit language in it back in the day.
Real.
But then I had a stack of them. Like when she
you would still hear it.
Yeah, because she bought me a DMX
my
album that was clean.
Coolest uncle in the world, man.
Shit. Everybody has somebody in their life that's like, whatever.
Man, what?
You know what I'm saying?
We go and listen to this.
But, bro,
right.
think about it. I had a clean DMX album. That doesn't make sense,
Damn,
bro.
that sounds weird.
Like I had a clean Eminem album. I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
weird.
If I walked in and my kid was listening to some DMX, I'm not to check him.
Bro, look, no, he's literally, that's when you hear the barks. The barks is like taking the curse words out.
Oh, wow.
That's before they just cut the
It's like, my hoe. Then what the hoe? I'm
like, wait, he's barking the whole time.
What the hell?
Like, turn it out.
Turn that off.
That's a past life. I ain't living like that no more.
He said your mic fucked up, see why? Yeah. You don't fight progress, you moderate and assimilate it.
Who said that?
My man's Drake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yo, that's exactly what I'm trying to explain to my wife at this point. I'm just like, look, I want to get the kids tablets for Christmas. Like, they want tablets. Yeah. Like, oh, they have tablets. No, these Amazon damn fire joints ain't tablets. You know what we want? We want them Apple shits.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Hear me?
Yep.
So I want to get them these. And she's like, I'm trying to limit the time. I'm like, we can limit their time. You can set up on this whole parental, all this and all that. They give you the tools to be able to limit your time, limit their time. And they say, look, I like the aspect of them being able to read on it. I like the aspect of them being able
Do
to.
it for the positive thing.
I
to
love
learn.
all that.
The
I love the
knowledge.
aspect. My daughter can do art on it. She can draw with it. They can do all these cool things. And I'm trying to get my kids into digital art. I want to get my daughter. I'm teaching them goddamn how to use that. I'm not the best at it, but to use Adobe and all that stuff, I'll have her
Nice.
doing an Illustrator and just trying to get her hands on it. Because
Facts.
like, if she gets her hands on
That's
it,
how practice is
there you
everything.
go. And I have her playing these little coding games, and they're basically coding, but the character's dancing, but it's coding, so it's
That's
using
lit.
like the C plus or the C plus plus or whatever the
C++,
hell shit,
yep.
and it's using that to make it do what it does. And I'm pushing that on them to
Mike good now,
them
but
trying to get them to be able to.
Like she wants it to like wave. She has to
Exactly, she has the code for it to wave. Right. So it's like
MySpace
they,
shit.
They
I wish
do
my
that stuff
mom
all
taught
the
me some
time.
Shit like that, bro. For
Well,
real,
I mean,
bro.
like
it's different times.
You
it's
can't-
different
yeah,
times,
we can't
you know
say-
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And it's like, but you know for a fact when you have your kids, you gonna put it on them.
you have to put the games in.
Right, right. So it's like a cool little thing for them to be able. And my daughter, my second youngest daughter, she loves the science thing. So I bought a little subscription to this thing called Chemo or whatever. But they send little science experiments to do every month. Yes, like I think it's like that. They send you science experiments and they send you little things for her to build. So when those come through, we're gonna do that. Cause I'm like, if you wanna, my son is like, oh, this is so dope how they built this thing. I'm like, you know who built this stuff? Engineers.
Yep.
You want to build that stuff? You need to be an engineer.
Yep.
So, yeah, and it's like I'm like I grew up in an area where it was all like, yo, yeah, and it was all like you want to do something successful, you gotta have a microphone in your hand, you gotta play ball. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that era now.
Right, man.
But
That
now
era.
though, that we
Now.
can teach them,
Right.
anything is possible.
So now I'm teaching like, yo, like I don't want you to think that way to where the only thing that you could get is like to be, playing ball or, rapping or whatever. I mean, that's all great to do, but and I also want them to understand, like, look at a rapper, right? How many people are behind this rapper or this artist or this singer? Why don't you get into managing? Why don't you get in? You're still living the same lifestyle. You're still out there with them, but if you don't crave that fame, that's fine. But even the people that work with these people are famous, quote unquote, depending on what they're doing. So it's like, damn, girlfriends are becoming famous. Like, look at Karuchi.
Yeah.
She was just a girlfriend of Chris Brown.
Now she got a television.
Now she's won an Emmy. She's gone on TV shows. She modeling. She got 5 million followers and all, off of just being somebody's girlfriend.
Been overused, but look at like Kim Kardashian. She's just the daughter of a very successful lawyer.
Right. Who turned a sex tape? Who turned a horrible thing into a multi-billion-dollar thing? I will never hate on a Kim Kardashian, bro. Like
Nope.
turning a positive or a negative into a positive, I can never sit back and hate on somebody like that. And it just become a cool thing to hate on them. And I like that's fine, but they can't really hear you from their house in Calabasas.
Facts.
So it's like, I don't know who you hating on, but there's plenty of people around them that's showing them mad love, and it's like they will always have that love. So it's like one of those things, yo. It's wild.
Let me see what the chat is saying here. It's better. They have extreme neuroelasticity. They can learn the ins and outs of stuff better.
Oh, the kids can pick that up so quick.
Yeah.
She picks it up like it's a game, like it's not even anything hard. They just pick it up.
Kids, yeah, like it's just they made so much things a lot more accessible for children now.
Right.
And it's like that's why like
Facts. Oh,
people
that
be
too.
like, oh, kids are so smart these days. I'm like, no, yeah, but it's like they have more things at their.
I mean, to be honest, we were smart too. Dial up, bro.
We always smart for our era.
Dial up, bro. We were sitting there
You couldn't
waiting.
even get on the house phone
Bruh.
at that time, bro.
Y'all know AIM, bro.
AIM, yeah, we know it. We know it.
Don't act like we weren't
AOL.
smart,
Sex
bro.
location,
Bro, we were smart as a youngin' too, bro.
We were smart.
But
Think
this
about
was just in our age, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Think about when your grandparents picked up your NES or your Super Nintendo controller,
Yeah.
and they was doing this. And you're
Yeah.
like, Grandma, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like we knew how to do this stuff just like they know. Like I remember when my daughter, they know how to open their phones. My 1-year-old knows how to swipe up and open my phone up and unlock it. Like people think that's so crazy. And it's like, no, it's not crazy. It's something that's always been in her face. She's always seen it. So she's always seen us doing it. They learn from what we do. So it's like, yeah, it's like one of those cool things where these kids, man, they're gonna be. Wait till they. I just did this thing called The Void at Tyson's. Bruh.
What is that?
It's a interactive 3D immersion experience. So you literally wear like a backpack on your back. That's a damn computer.
One over there. Literally, there's one right over there.
Oculus joint?
Yep.
Yeah. So the Void is like a whole. So it's right now we did the Jumanji joint for the Jumanji movie, and they've done things in there for like horror movie or horror shit, and they've done things in there for the Avengers.
It's those arena things, right? When you play with other people who have a lot.
Right. So you go in with like 4 people, and it blew my mind, dog. Like I walked in there, and you walk into the room, and you put the headset on, and you have this big ass backpack on your back. It's like a flak jacket. And you're in there, and I'm with my son and his best friend and his dad, and we're looking around at each other, and his dad is Kevin Hart, and I'm looking at my son, and he's the girl in the movie, whatever. I was like, whatever, son, that's what you got. And then I'm looking at he's Jack Black. I look at myself, and I'm The Rock, and I'm like, yo, what? And I'm looking, literally, I lift my hands up, and you see it. Like, you see it. There's nothing even on my arms, like, no, like, sensor or nothing. It's just, what I feel is there are cameras in the whole thing, and there's a certain type of light that's over you, and whenever your body goes across that light, it picks it up in the thing and it shows it to you. Yep. But like you can hold your hand out and it will tell you your weaknesses and all this shit. Remember the door open, we turn to the left, the door opens, we feel the heat like we're in a fucking jungle.
That's crazy.
Bruh, the wind, and it's a cliff, and we're like literally like, yo, what the fuck? And I had to tell myself, this is not a cliff. You're good. Right?
Yeah.
I had to tell myself that shit. Because my body was
crazy.
reacting in a like primal instinct of like, nah, bro, like what the
Relax.
fuck? And I had to tell my body like, no, this is fake.
Yeah.
So I even had to reach out with my foot and go, yeah, that's not a cliff. All right, we good. But bro, it was a trip, dog. Bro, if they actually had a little ledge and you felt there was nothing there, yo, what the fuck?
You done it.
It was
Somebody
crazy.
getting sued.
The void shit is wild. Like if y'all got a chance to look that shit up, it's like literally like you're walking across a little bridge and there's a waterfall next to you and you feel the wind from the waterfall and you feel the little water hitting you. Bruh,
This at
it's at
Tyson's?
Tyson's Mall. It just they opened up, I want to say like earlier this year. It's crazy. It's only $30 too. $30, bro.
For this?
They have a website.
Yo, yeah.
Basically VR reality with other people. That
Right. Exactly.
Do we have any footage?
I'm trying to.
They have like these little weird corny videos, but that's it. I did the Jumanji joint. Yeah.
That's
The
crazy.
camera see the? Can they see
You
it?
probably would have to move to the left a little bit.
Crazy.
So anxious for your arrival. So if you see me play VR on Twitch, it's like this 3.0.
Literally, my hand looked like that, y'all. Like you had to punch, you were like going like this, boom, boom, like punching the dude.
So was it like controllers or gloves?
Nothing. Bruh, I said like there was nothing on your hands, yo.
Yeah.
You grabbed that thing, the little thing, and you grabbed it. It was actually something in your hand. You felt it. It was like a stick. It was crazy. Yeah. It was wild.
Try to just throw it around the room and see what happens.
If there was nothing in your hand, how'd you feel it? They have people inside with you.
Oh, so they give you something.
They hold it out to you, so they know exactly where it's supposed to be, and it'll look to you like it's
Bro,
inside.
that turned gaming into something so crazy,
That's what I'm saying,
bro.
Like, bro,
imagine if they had like Call of Duty, bro.
That's what,
and they like giving
that's
you
what
like
they're
the
doing,
clip,
bro.
bruh.
That's what they're working on right now.
That's
they're working
crazy.
on
Instead
shit
of
for you to have something in your hand.
imagine
and,
laser tag, bruh.
They have
oh my god,
they
bruh.
have like gun things you can buy.
Yeah.
For, like, VR.
For like the VR controllers, so they'll do the same thing. So like, say, like this whole void thing. This is like the start of where we're at. I mean, like honestly, if you do want to think about where we are right now with technology, right?
I do it all the time.
And then think about where we'll be, because technology advances, faster than it ever has before. What took 5 years to do,
The smartphone is just slightly a decade old.
yeah, and like what it took 20 years to do in the past takes like 2 months now, right? So exponentially prorate that shit out to where 20 years from now, what are we gonna have, and what is it gonna look like? If we have shit that looks like that right now.
Someone was saying the camera tracks your body.
He said it's an SLS camera.
Oh.
Hold on, I got
The cam, so they do have cameras up at the top.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
what
yeah.
I saw was like when we were in the little first box, like if I put my hand out over here, where the light wasn't shining down,
Yeah.
I couldn't see. Because I did peek. I lift my shit up. I was like this, like looking, But if I put my hand right in the way of the light, is when it really picked it up. So what I feel is there are lights, even if it's like, when you had back in the day those the night vision on the camera.
Yeah.
I think even those type of lights where you probably wouldn't see it with your naked eye, but you could see it. It could see you to pick you up.
Okay, so
Oh, Dre is
Jesus.
You're out of the game.
Oh yeah.
Oculus Quest, which is all wireless.
Is that the new one? That's the one that came out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to plug it into a computer. And now, just this week, they just introduced hand tracking.
That's the one you have.
So you don't even need to control. No.
So
This
this
is the
hand
wireless
tracking.
one.
Oh, it
So
shoots
you
the
don't even
lasers
need
out the damn.
controllers
Oh, I
anymore.
see. Yeah.
The headset itself tracks your hands. They just released this like a week or two ago. Like it's brand new.
Yeah, I'm buying that shit, man.
That's the wireless version of what I have. So mine theoretically.
So it's like 400, right? It's 400.
Bruh, PS4s, Xboxes, all gonna bruh.
Oh, they have
gonna,
to.
They're gonna steal this
Well,
idea, bruh.
PS4 has the VR.
They already do.
It has it. Yeah.
That's
It
how I
has this
played
little, like-
Resident Evil, but I was like, fuck no. I played Resident Evil for 30 minutes, bro. I played Resident Evil 7 for 30 minutes.
said I turned it
"Nah,
back."
Kiss my ass, bro. I stopped that.
Bro, what gets you is like having the
Every time, bro, I
headphones
went to
and the
watch you
shit
go,
on,
bro. You gotta
that'll
make
get
a
you fucked
return to Resident Evil and go live, bro.
I
Please,
can do 2, but I don't know about 7, bro.
please, bro. Please go live
I have a
one.
VR set. I don't have a VR set.
That's wild.
Somebody gotta do it.
Hold on. They're saying quite a few things. I missed a few things what they said. He said, "Okay, I would love to explain. Sounds fun. I love the way those things work." He said they use SLS cameras and VR in sync.
Oh wow.
SLS cameras. The cameras track where your body is. The light at like no caps and you blocking it creates where it's tracked. It's a laser grid. So it's like mocap's. I'm gonna need you to stream that Resident Evil 7, fam. That's a fucketh no.
Yes,
Scary shit,
right.
bro.
I just said the same
played
thing.
I beat the second one. The second
Bruh,
one's crack, but like
you gotta
the
post
7th one.
somewhere. We all take a vote on it, bro.
That's wild, bro. That's really scary.
Yeah, bro. That shit is.
Because if
scary.
I could imagine, like the way that shit made me feel, like they had a the one in California had a for Halloween they had a little haunted house. Remember that? I don't know if you saw that game. There's a little haunted demon one or some demon shit.
Oh hell no.
Bruh, I was like, man, because I started swinging a little bit inside this one, but it wasn't like I was just joking. I was playing around. So we had like there's a part where you come to it, there's a little monkey that comes out in front of you, and I was just, or no, it was a bad guy. The bad dude was right there, and I'm with the kids, and they're with me, and I was like, oh, the bad guy's right there. I was like, and I felt this girl grab me. And was like in my ear, like, if you swing again, you will be removed from the thing. And I was like, hold the fuck up. And she's like, if you try to hit the monkey, I was like, what monkey are you talking about? I don't even know why you're grabbing me like this. And I don't see no monkey. And all of a sudden, a monkey jumps down in front of me. And I was like, oh, okay. And I realized that there was people in there handing you shit. So if you're just like indiscriminately swinging and shit, you're gonna hit somebody who they're like, you know what I mean? So, but it was like, I wasn't even being vicious with my swings. I was literally just doing this. Like, she was like a little overreacting, but it was cool though. But that horror shit, bro, crazy.
I can't do it, bro. Like I said, I played Resident Evil 2 gets like from the back angle, so you get to still see, but it's still dark as fuck.
It's third person, right?
Yeah, so it's still dark as fuck. But Resident Evil 7 is first person, and it's like dark as fuck, like shit jumping out. It's like I'm sorry, like,
You can't play Resident Evil because you know when they ask you in the beginning like how dark you want it to be.
Yeah.
And if you put the brightness all the way up, you ain't playing it right.
No,
you
you're
gotta
not.
put
You
the
gotta
brightness
have
down.
it. And I play with the headphones in too. So
Yeah.
sometimes you're running and you hear this. Yeah. I'm like, oh hell.
Same
no,
thing with
bro.
Dead Space. You remember that game?
That game
Oh
is
my
so fucking
god,
scary,
yo,
bro. Like,
that shit had me because I would, I put it on the dark and I'm not even like imagine that playing that VR.
Yeah, no,
Yo,
that's
that'd be having me wild. But yeah, that's crazy, man.
shit is crazy, bro.
We getting into the future now. Go back to what I said. Elon Musk may be on to some shit. All right.
But bruh, that's the reason why when he was like everybody buy these tank cars, I was like, wait a second, this things is moving way too fast.
Well, what's real shit? Like,
Bruh, to be honest, bruh,
we're in a
Yep.
simulation, yo.
everybody's so excited for 2020, bruh. To be honest, bruh, I'm humble about it because
I put my 150 down on the
anything
Cybertruck,
can go.
Really? Yes.
Anything can go.
Oh yeah.
And them aliens want to talk about Area 51 when we didn't invade that shit. Hey,
He
we took a
said-
big L.
He said, "Man, Dead Space at my butthole clenches." On
Yo,
certain
real,
days."
bruh. Dead Space had me shook, bruh. I was like, what? Why am I playing this? My heart's
How did I
beating.
get here?
My heart's beating all fast and shit. I'm like, what?
Who bet
Why
me
am
to
I
do
doing
this?
this? Like, yo,
Yeah, you like, hold up, bro.
shit, man.
Somebody start knocking on the door. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Fuck that.
Oh my goodness gracious!
You ever forget you invited someone over when you're playing a game of headphones on? You just hear the mouth,
You're like, oh Jesus, what's going on?
Son, I was playing Resident Evil 2 and that shit happened. I had all the lights off, and my homie got a deep ass voice, and he was like, "Hey, yo, Rex." I said, "Bro."
Yo, he walked up on you.
Yeah.
He probably was calling you from upstairs.
Yeah,
Like, yo,
like,
oh, he can't hear me. Hey, yo.
He said your mic on LSD again.
Man, no way. I'm gonna roll up anyways. Y'all enjoy.
Damn.
But I'm gonna pick it up when I need to talk though. You know what I'm saying? I gotta roll up.
Hopefully that shit.
No, what's did nobody else put their money down for the Cybertruck?
No, bro.
$100, bro.
What?
2021 is about to be my reward to myself.
True.
That's the
No, you put
150 for the 500 range.
for the trade.
I don't get. How does that work?
No, so you put it. So you
Forex or like
no. So like they have 3 different. So the Cybertruck has like 2 different models. There's like one with like there's a performance one, which is the top one, which has 500 miles of range on every charge, and it has 2 engines in it. So it's like dual. So it's like all-wheel drive with it. So I was like, all right, it's 150 to save my place and be able to buy it. So I was like, and it's like it'll be available like 2022. Because the regular ones,
Let me know the things.
The high-end version is gonna be like 2022 or something like that. And I was like, you know what, $150, I'm investing in myself.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna say that. See, setting goals is very important.
facts.
If I say I want to be by 2022, I want to be able to go out and cop this shit, and I want them to be. When I get to that point, it's gonna feel amazing.
Facts.
If I have something I'm working towards.
Or do you write down your
Yeah. Well,
affirmations?
I do that.
Or do you say affirmations every day?
I do it every day.
How do you do it? Do you put it in front of a mirror?
I live it every day. I live it and I constantly think about it all day. All day. Affirmations are all day, every day, constantly living that way. I guess knowing that it's going to happen. I see it. I will it. When I literally said, I was sitting in my store.
Do you post your affirmations on the wall or do you post it anywhere? Like,
I don't.
or do you just automatically have them in your head?
I don't post them. I literally just.
You're talking about writing them down earlier, right? When you're like, write it down. I thought you said something about write it down. Maybe I'm tripping.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing to do. And it's all about like, everybody knows The Secret, right? The book.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's all about just manifestation.
Yeah.
So you just I was sitting in the store. It was summer of last year when I first opened the shop, and I knew the year before that I was sitting at my desk, and it's just like
Fuck this shit.
I had thought about it and I had envisioned doing something like that, and it was just kind of like, no, I wasn't sitting at my desk. No, I'd already been I stopped working.
Quit your job?
No, I got laid off.
Damn.
And it was perfect. Like, it was like the company was switching up and they were laying people off. So they're switching up new CEOs, laying people off. And everybody was so worried. And I was telling folks, I was like, yo, I've been here however long. If I get laid off, bro, I'm going to just do my shit. And they called me in the office and hey, what's happening? I was like, all right, bet. And in my head, I'm thinking, damn, okay, well, we got to start grinding. But then they talking about a pension. I was like, they said, here's your exiting packet. This is how much you get. And I'm looking at that shit like, how much? Wow.
Whoa, what?
So I was like, you're giving me this money? They're like, yeah. And they're like, I was like, okay. At that point, I had no idea. Like, I didn't understand what a pension was, whatever. And then they're like, oh, yeah, you can also get your 401k if you want. You can get your retirement. So these are all money. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, so I can actually really do the things that I really was thinking about. So that was October 2016. And then I got that money February of 2017. And then from there, I just started just like hopping into vintage shit, just selling vintage. Then I got into trying to get into a store.
Selling vintage, like where you go into like different thrift shops and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. So I started selling. I started selling vintage back in 2010 heavy on eBay. And
is eBay still the thing to sell it on, or are you?
eBay actually surprising, yes.
Yes, it is.
And they just announced that they're not going to be charging any seller fees for people selling sneakers over $100.
Wow.
And that's literally every damn sneaker. So it's like, eBay really trying to. They're actually they trying to keep in this game.
Yeah.
Because they saw StockX, they see Grail, they see Goat. So they're trying to be like, oh, we trying to be in this game. So guess what? Ain't gonna be no fees on no nothing. And everybody go, oh shit, ain't no fees.
Yes,
I'm over there.
Now they gotta figure out the new game plan.
Yeah. So that was a cool thing, and then the store came about later in that year. Maybe I want to say in November of that year, November 2017. And I hadn't cashed in my retirement yet. And as I was opening the shop, I needed that money to come up with the shit. And my pops helped me out too. Nice. And that's another thing. Like, people feel like it's a bad thing to have yourself in a position to where your family can help you do something.
Wait, not even that. Where you have to ask.
Yeah. Like,
not even family is like even friends and stuff where you put in a position where you have to reach out and ask for somebody like, yo, hey bro, you know what I'm saying? I need it. You know what I'm saying?
And they feel like that's a bad thing. And it's like, yo, if you've put yourself in a place where relationship with people where you can ask somebody for help and they do help you out, like, that's great. That means you had yourself in a good place. Right. And you're humble. Humility is a big thing, but humility on Instagram is no. Okay. So I had a whole post on this, and I got a lot of feedback from it on my page, and I was like, fake humility, humble bragging gets you them follows.
Yeah.
It's funny how people will, in the same breath, talk about how humble somebody is, but you go to that person's page and all you see is them posting their cars, their clothes, and all this. But in posting their cars, they're saying, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. Mm-hmm. DJ Khaled, to be a good example. And it's like, you have to showcase a lifestyle that you are successful to garner more success and to get a following. Yep. People are more apt to give you the benefit of the doubt and give you more opportunities if they feel you are a successful person. Mm-hmm. You don't understand. That's why you see that people that are rich and celebrities, they get more meals comped and more shit sent to them for free than anybody else, that can afford. You can afford it. Mm. And that's like real.
Hey, make sure y'all clip this part because y'all need some game. Y'all hear this shit? Clip this part because y'all need some game.
Please clip it because I want to. I just like I've noticed so much, right? And if you are successful, even if you are not fully successful, you should showcase the life you want to live or what you aspire to live. AKA, people do call it faking it till you make it. People will say that that's bad and that's corny, but that's a mindset of somebody who will stay where they are. Because in this world we live in, it is people feel like say there's a lot of hate out there, but it really is a lot of love out there.
It is.
People will show you so much love if you are successful. And they will, if you got a new Porsche Panamera and you post that shit up and you say, hey, I'm thankful for this or whatever, it is, quote unquote, it is a brag. It is not full on humility, but is a thing that will get you more. Yep. There are the social experiments that are out there that these YouTubers do.
Even if they post like, yo, to be honest, I start off with nothing, and this is
exactly.
It's superficial.
It is because
right.
It is because you know what I'm saying. Because if you think about it, you still out here showcasing what you have. Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of people get on the people for like with the homeless and stuff, like giving back.
And it's like you get and that's crazy to me too. It's like, but you gonna get on a person showcasing that they're helping people. That is gonna pop into somebody else's head that I should do the same shit. Yeah. So that's what you should be showing. But people will shit on that more than they'll shit on DJ Khaled sitting in his fucking Ghost every damn day talking about lion and screaming all that shit. But they'll be like, he's so humble.
Yeah.
It's like that's some ass backwards ass shit.
Yeah.
Because what you should be seeing is people helping. You should be seeing people going out there and giving socks and shoes, and people should.
Did you just give a nigga socks, bro? I can't fuck with you.
You gonna show that you giving people clothes and food,
bruh? I did that yesterday. I ain't show nobody. We ain't the same.
He said social media is about showing the tree, not the saplings.
Exactly. Woo. Real shit. And that's what.
Woo.
And that is
I like
so
that.
Good.
I like
because there's nothing wrong with showcasing
it's not about
what
the grind.
You got.
It's not about the grind, but
it is a humble brag.
It is.
I think humble bragging nowadays is a good thing for you. And it'll show you also that people do inherently like to see other
But
people
at the
succeed.
same time, they see humble bragging at an all-time high because it all comes back at the end of the day when people are ODing and stuff like that, because it's not really what they deal with on the low. You know what I'm saying? It all has this effect, though. You know what I'm saying? You got to
You're talking
be
about, like, mentally. Like,
behind the scene, the mental game behind the scenes, because it does affect people. You know
It
what I'm
does.
saying? It does affect people. You can't be on Instagram every day showing I got this, and then as soon as you log off Instagram, you hopping on. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of people around them too. You gotta see like, a
Yeah.
lot of these people around these folks that are ODing and all this. Like, it's hard to. People will get on them and be like, "Yo, you should have been telling them no, and you should have been telling them this." But at the end of the day, you can't make nobody do nothing. You can tell them as much as you want.
We've had
You
that combo
you
there.
can tell people. You could tell Juice WRLD, "Yo, Juice, you gotta stop this." You could tell Lil Peep, "Yo, you gotta stop this, bro." I guarantee you. And it's like people look at their friends and making them feel even more shitty because, like, I know for a fact all his people around him wasn't all just being like, "Yeah, bro, how many more pills you want to take today?" I guarantee some people was like, "Bruh, like we got chill, dog. Like we were really going hard.
Yeah.
Like we were going real hard right now." And it's like one of those things, man, where it's like you do have to have a little bit, and people want to talk about, "Oh, it's these companies that are not giving these kids training and they're not giving this and that." It's like, bruh, like I don't feel like everybody had the media training back in the day either.
No.
Like I don't think that they all were so
There's
inherently
never a
like
lot of classes on social media. Like we weren't put in the school like, hey, this is social media. This is something that we was like self-taught, that a talent that we all had to teach ourselves.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Social media.
It is a thing, and it's like nobody was. And now there are people kicking off on that. You know, you won't believe how many people you see are consultants. And I was like, I threw that on my title too, because I'm like, I'm consistently throwing people game. People send me messages. I'm talking to them. I'm walking them through this. I'm saying, hey, you should do that. You should put this here. You should do that. I'm like, damn, I gotta start getting these consultant credits because it's like, I do that shit every day. I do it all the fucking time. Yo, real shit. I'm like,
PH.
fuck. I'm like, at least give me a fucking shirt. Like, I'll let you help you design this shirt, bro. Like, give me a shirt. Like, I gotta do something. So it's like, I'm just trying to make this move, and I've noticed too. Social media is a very "what have you done for me lately" entity.
What have you done for me?
What have you done for me lately? And it's like,
I feel like you feel like you owe social media sometimes. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm
like a
saying?
little bit.
I ain't post nothing in a while.
Right.
I
gotta
a look.
post.
Here's me.
Right. And it's like, you gotta, cause Sean Witherspoon just did an interview. My wife was talking to me about it, where he was with Vice talking about round 2, and Sean just straight up said, he's like, bro, if you open a store and it's not doing well, you suck. And I was Sean Witherspoon.
Okay.
And I'm like, when I do think about how Sean started, no, I'm good. How Sean started round 2. I remember distinctly one of these episodes, or one of the early episodes on YouTube. He was saying like, if you follow round 2, we're gonna spam the fuck out of you. And that's how round 2 used to operate back in the day. And they kind of still do when you follow them. Your whole feed is gonna be just them posting the merchandise that they have in the shop. And just posting, post. And he was on that shit from day one. So I can see where Sean's coming from. It's like, in this day and age, if you were doing something and it's not successful, you aren't doing enough.
Wow.
That's on some Gary Vee shit.
Yeah.
And like Gary Vee,
You fuck with Gary?
well, I got a little bit of pushback from people because I'll be talking about how like Gary ain't saying shit that's fucking groundbreaking. He says, do it. Do the shit you want to do. And every time people walk to him, hey, Gary, I have a life, and I think about this. Don't think about that. Do what you want to do. They're like, wow, Gary, oh, my God. And I'm like, wait, what? And then you go back.
Because Gary told you.
You look at every motivational speaker, bro, and that's what
They said the exact same thing.
And it's like,
If everybody's telling you the same thing, then
I'm
get
not
the fuck
hating on
up.
Gary. He cake it off. My man used to be on YouTube talking about,
Selling wine and shit.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, this mouth feels great. Like, that's all he used to fucking do all day. But now he over here on fucking selling out arenas and shit.
Hell
and
yeah.
getting his bread. Having people pay for time.
All steening it.
Bruh, like, I love Gary. I love it. And he's going to, like, yeah, let's do some trash talk. I'm going to take you to all these places and show you that you can make so much money going to garage sales. And he'll be going to garage sales and buying fucking Hot Wheels.
And
And
flipping the
telling them-
shit.
Flipping them shit.
And it's like, then he gives you the final number, but it doesn't really talk about how much time people got to wait to get that final number. I mean, at the end of the day, Gary, if you sell like 4 Hot Wheels cars for $20, that's cool. But if you wait like another couple weeks, that $20 gone.
Yeah.
And then you got to sell a couple more and you get another. But that's good. But I understand like where he's coming from. It's just
Yeah.
like he's just talking about hustle.
Yeah.
And that is real. And if you do hustle and you hustle hard, you gonna be good. But
Yeah,
it's like one
I
of
fuck
those-
with Gary, man. Shout out Gary too, man.
and
No, because you know what? And I love his energy because a lot of young kids like they need that shit. This is somebody pushing, be like, yo.
I see what you mean though
After
about
you're done-
the pushback.
No, go ahead.
About the pushback. Yeah.
I think the one thing, because I agree with you a little bit on what you're talking about with Gary, and a lot of those motivational speakers is what they say isn't groundbreaking, and they don't tell you the meat and potatoes of what it takes. Like you really need to be a big entrepreneur, hustle, grind kind of attitude
Right.
that most people just don't have. So like when you have someone like him pop up, like you just said, he goes to garage sales and flips shit on eBay. I know a friend who does wild shit like that. He ain't bringing in cake. He still needs a real job to actually get ends to meet,
real gig,
because it takes a lot of time. He's a friend you hit up when you want like a good computer for the low, but at the end of the day, unless he dives fully into it,
and that's
it ain't
what-
gonna be flipping him.
And I've noticed is like that's not even, and that's like what I've watched his stuff and I love his energy, but he's doing what he said. He's living what he tells everybody else to do, right? So he says, "Yo, I want you to grind and content is king," and blah blah. Every day you'll see posts all day long, and it gets to the point where you built that team to be able to shoot all those behind the scenes. Everywhere you go, if I could pay a designated camera person to follow me every day, all day long, and we're just consistently posting our content, an editor to do it, yes, right, and it is a thing where it will behoove a couple people to maybe invest in that a little bit. I'm going to LA in February. Like if I could hire a cameraman to follow me, to shoot video, to shoot photos, to do all that while I'm out there, you got to do that ASAP.
Yeah,
Because if you're trying to build anything, you got to have the content.
Yeah,
You got to have the content.
the biggest way, if you're a content creator, the biggest way to get your views on social media up the highest is to hire someone to do the media for you. You know, like you just said, you need someone to record the behind the scenes, someone to edit it, someone to post it, all that shit.
Right.
Like, because if you're doing it all yourself, it does take away a lot of time for you to do your content.
Unless you're
you're
going
trying
Casey
to create.
Neistat that shit and do like what?
Yeah.
A whole year he did a vlog. Like that blew him the fuck up. He says, "Look, I'm gonna vlog every single day," and he was up till what 4? You could tell it wore on him too. He could tell he was up till 3 a.m. every day,
And he was
editing
also
his videos.
very honest about how it's like if you watch a lot of his very, very early videos, it's like it came from doing it so much all
So
the time.
much.
He just quickly, intuitively, like, I know
He
this is what I'm gonna
started-
cut. I remember
and he got
this,
his
blah, blah, blah.
formula, and he knew
Yeah.
how he's like understanding like if you are gonna do a vlog, you gotta understand how your shots are gonna look and how you're doing everything and have an idea of where you're gonna go with it. And that consistency of doing it makes it a lot quicker. But that consistent content will grow anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody. It don't matter what you do. If you did Twitch every damn day, you'd be going crazy. Those dudes who live stream they're every day, all day long, they are like known. They're fucking out here. They're they know. Yeah.
Like this guy, I keep telling him
Right.
he needs to go live once a week for at least just 30 minutes and freestyle on vaporwave beats, just to get that presence out there. That not only is he good at freestyling, but that your main voice is vaporwave type music. Because even if you don't own the rights to it, bro, go live on that shit. Just
Vaporwave.
build that presence once a week.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Somebody just came in here and just posted a link.
I bring that up a lot.
Yo, so somebody just came
Not
in
the same
here
time. This is the
and-
second time you've heard it on
and
camera.
Somebody just came in here and just posted a link. Should we ban this person or because I mean I don't like when people just come in and just.
I
post
think we
links.
should look at their link first and then judge it. And if not,
What's the link?
I don't know.
it's YouTube. It's YouTube. So
I don't know, bro.
is what?
What is it?
He an artist? If we're not watching this shit. Hey, let's ban his ass. Nah, don't ban him. Let him slide. Let him slide. If they post, if they try to like,
I hate when people do that.
we hit him with the
I really
ting.
do.
We hit him with the ting.
It just kind of just
Irks you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just more so the fact that we're talking about
Ooh.
something that is
Silver
of
shop
value,
looking
you know what I
icy
mean?
on the
It's
TV.
like-
Yeah, if
it's
not,
cool.
Is it not speaking to the conversation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. No,
Yeah.
not at all. But no, everything that you guys are saying, definitely. I think like more so the fact the grind and everything. And I'm gonna be honest, like I got Gary's book, I follow his YouTube and stuff, but I do agree with you.
A lot
Like,
of people,
it's like,
do. That's
I
why I'm
get
like,
it.
I never want to, like, I just tell people I keep it real. Like, I told my, I almost am like at the point where I'm about to do the same shit he's doing.
Why not?
I'm about to just do it. Cause fuck it. Like,
No, bruh.
I have rants. I go crazy.
And to be honest, bro.
Oh wow. Wow.
To be honest, bro. I feel like. Yes.
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 Yeah,
I like.
why
There's
not?
no if, ands, or buts to it. Just do it.
I gotta do it.
My homie. in
Shut,
here
I'm gonna hit
said-
you with the carry. Just do it.
Just do it.
What the fuck? What are you?
The Shia LaBeouf joint.
Fuck the door you just came through.
Right.
Fuck the microphone you're talking on.
But yeah, my homie said, I can see homie no game. Like, yeah, I was going to say that too. Like, because, when I hit you up on Instagram and I was just asking questions, I just wanted to be, prepared. That's
Right.
Because it's like, we tend to like swing to different topics. You can kind of see the head assness of the humor sometimes.
Right.
But we just want to make sure that if somebody comes on here, they're giving something to us. Because this has probably been a really, really good one of the.
This is a great interview.
Yeah, this is a great interview. Yeah, and but just
Next
discussion.
Monday is some dog ass. He's gonna destroy.
I'm gonna be so mad, bro. Yeah. I kind of felt like we should have probably booked him last. I don't know why. I just kind of felt like that. But
No, we just had someone last week who got defensive. Like, like we asked him a question on how he got to deal with like Toyota.
Yo, chill.
Yeah, we're not talking.
Every on the next episode on reviews of the review.
He got defensive and asked everything we did. I think that's kind of.
Yeah.
fucked up if
You wanna-
interview about your company. And
the candidness of everything is really nice. I've always been an open book. My wife sometimes is a little bit like, I don't want people to know this stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I have no shame.
I'm just me.
You know what I'm saying? I just like, and I do consistently go out into the world and just, I do listen a lot and I take everything in. A lot of times when people come to the shop, like I have conversations with people,
Yeah.
and so many people give you so much game. Like, yo, bro, I used to go to this elderly home thing on some random shit because I was working for UPS at the time,
Yeah.
and like I would go in there and I would literally just pick a person a day and just sit and talk to them. And if they weren't, if they were all there, some folks were just having issues, you know what I mean, as you get older. But it's like people don't understand, like we are all going to be there.
Yeah.
And people want to look at old folks and have this feeling about it. And it's like, damn.
You know what? Now, look, it's crazy you said that today.
Yeah.
I had a group of old folks look at me today. They were like, you know what? I was just looking. They were like, man, we've been serving. They said, I know you're serving right now, but we've been serving for 43 years.
Oh, wow.
And they're all sitting at the table. It was like all old heads. And I
Get
was
game.
Like, so I was like, man, I was just looking at y'all, and I was like, I wish me and my homeboys, like, I want us to be like this when we get older, like sitting around the table, just geeking and stuff like this, the same thing.
And that's
and
all
they're
it
like,
is.
you know what? That's sweet and all, but the crazy thing is, you got the part on us. You know what I'm saying? The good thing is, we got 1 more year and we're done.
We're done, yeah,
They said
everybody
you gotta work.
Yeah.
So definitely, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But it's like all those things are just that people, listening is really lost art at this point in time where we're at. A lot of folks don't, it's just so fast, go. But I come from an era where I didn't have social media.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still to the point where I'm like, I could get it, but I really do want to understand the folks have always had it. You know, I want to understand because it's a whole different mindset. There's a time where they don't ever remember the fucking dial-up sounding like. And there's a whole group of kids that don't even know what that is. If I play that sound to my kids, they'd be like, "What is that?" You know?
generation of kids who will have no idea what it was like having someone just call you,
No idea.
pick up the phone, and everything you were doing is
No idea.
done.
And I've always just been like, I want to. I can get on a stage and I can just talk.
Yeah.
And I just want to be like, ask me shit. Because if somebody asks me something, it's like I could give you all kind of shit. And there is a thing where like folks just do want to be told, like, yo, I want to do this, I want to do that. I just told her to do that at the show. I just had it at the shop. I was talking to him in front of the store. And I was just talking to him about like, oh, yeah, where you at right now? He's like, I just dropped out of school. Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm like, where do you want to work? What do you want to do? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, just your wildest dreams. Like, what job is that? I want to do this. I want to do design, or I'm trying to work in IT. I said, shotgun that shit. Shotgun. Like, if you have not applied to 40 jobs in a day, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's uploading a fucking resume. You can't tell me you can't go click, 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 click.
Go to a store, they're like, it's online.
Yeah, it's online. And you said there's nothing you can do. Get an Indeed, get a Monster, get a fucking get all that shit. Make accounts on all of them.
You're bound
it.
to have a job off the first one, but
Bruh,
if
just
you do all that
it.
shit, bro, you're about to have a lot of jobs.
Yeah, and I always tell people just give yourself the power. So I tell my boys like, oh, my boy, I ain't got no matches on Tinder, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, are you swiping right on everybody? It's like, no. I'm like, well, that's why you ain't got no matches. Because at the end of the day, you want to give yourself the power. So if somebody does happen to swipe on you, you'll see it. Mm-hmm. So if you're handicapping yourself by just going boo. Because there's some days you may just like not be like your moods are different on every day. There may be somebody that looks good on one day to you, but may not look good. Or you may be a couple drinks in and everybody looking cool, like whatever. Just swipe right on everybody. Because at the end of the day, it's like you're giving yourself the benefit of doubt because the doubt lies with you. Yep. I could say nope. I could say yes. I can unmatch. I can do whatever. I can do whatever I want. And I feel like that should be like given to everything. I mean, that's what Virgil did. Yeah. That's what Virgil did. And I want to get into this too because this nigga pissed me off with his little interview you just did.
Let's talk about it.
I did not fucking like that shit, man.
Which one?
So what happened? I don't know about the interview, but there's some I do have that I am.
So in the interview, the long and short of it is basically saying that streetwear is dead. Everybody's gonna want to start doing vintage and wearing vintage stuff again and streetwear. But headlines are all that matter, right? 2019.
Yeah.
Headlines would matter. Headline is Virgil Abloh says streetwear is dead. Now, for a person that comes from this to even have that be a misunderstanding in a conversation, is a problem. Yeah, it seems like another nigga that got out of the barrel and wants to toss the barrel off the fucking shit for nobody else to make it. Yeah, and I'm not even on some like, I just don't like that shit. Period. Yeah. Like I don't like somebody who makes it. And then they up there with all the people with the accents, and then they fucking looking like they like this and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Knowing damn well they'll throw a banana at your ass real quick, nigga, on a fucking soccer field. So don't fucking be up here thinking that you really doing some shit, because they really don't. The only way I would have really felt Virgil really did some shit is if he made his own fashion house and was able to put himself next to those brands. You still working for somebody. Yeah. I understand that it's a step, but the offer is good enough for me. Yeah. If it was known that Louis offered you the whole men's side, and you said, nah, I'm gonna build my own shit. That right there would be like, we made it. Mm-hmm. We made it. You a black man got offered one of the largest fashion house in the fucking world. That's all we need. Yeah. You don't gotta take that shit. Build your own shit. Build your own fashion house. If black folks understood how much buying power we fucking had, there should be no reason why we would not be running all this shit. Facts. We are the culture. We let everybody know what the fuck is dope and what's not dope. Facts. Everybody follows what we do. If we don't get that shit by now, bruh, I don't know what to do. Yeah.
No, I agree.
If you want to boycott Gucci.
Bruh, I agree. No, I think, I see the point of everything that you said. This is my standpoint on it, is that I believe that, because I'm not going to say act like I don't, like, I don't have a bunch of
Gucci did blackface, and everybody went back to it.
But that's, yeah, exactly. Moncler did blackface. So the thing is just that, like, I do have some of his shit, but I agree. I don't agree with a lot of the standpoints, because it's like more so of you coming up from a grind and then trying to take this grind that you spent all that time
away from somebody else.
And not just that, like, I don't know if you've seen as well, because like I said, someone was going at him because majority of the employees that he worked with were white. And that goes.
His wife is white.
Yeah, and that goes back, and there's no problem with that.
I ain't no matter. No, there's no issue with that.
Like you said, black-owned things. Like, why are there not more people in your house black, of color? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, even when you go under another corporation, he goes under Nike, he goes under, it was Gucci, and it's like, yeah, that, you know, it's a stepping stone because you're still getting help. But I do agree, because it's like, you get to a certain point, don't start switching shit up just because you get a bag now. So you at this certain bag, and you're like, oh, well, you know, I'm not saying that he's doing it, but it's still the fact, like, you're like, all right, nah, this is not it anymore. We on this now because I'm hanging with this group.
So somebody came to me and said, oh, you know, he wasn't saying that streetwear is dead. He was more saying like, oh, we have to recategorize it at this point. Now,
did it feel like that to you when someone said that?
It didn't, because you have to make that shit clear. You got to hop on everything. Be like, they wrote this shit. I got to hop on a live on my IG and clear this shit up ASAP. It can't be no questions. I got to say, no, I'm hopping on IG live. I'm saying they took my words out of context. The headline should not be this. The headline should be this.
A perfect example is the whole Kanye situation. Like, a lot of people would defend Kanye being like, no, this is what he meant to say.
Right, what he meant. Right.
No.
And it's like, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't fucking matter. You got to be what matters today are the headlines. You got to hop out there and you got to jump out the window and clarify all your shit.
Facts.
Right?
ASAP. As soon as the headlines drop, you got to clarify.
So
drop
that was just the biggest thing with me.
As a person that's being in that industry, you know what I'm saying? If you're not a part of that industry and you're like, you know what I'm saying, and somebody's saying hello, you don't. I feel like bruh, what the fuck are you talking about? If somebody's talking about cows and they have my name on it, what the fuck? I gotta hop on the headline saying,
real shit,
bruh. I'm in.
If it makes you feel, it's all about like this, right? My biggest thing is just the feeling. There are so many kids or people that are making brands right now, that felt it, even if it's a little like a little poke to their chest, like streetwear is dying. Do you know how many people just from that article alone probably just stopped doing it?
Damn.
Think about how many people out there stopped doing it.
Yeah.
It ain't going no fucking where, bro.
That's the base of
There's
what
no
fashion
way.
is. The majority of the high fashion motherfuckers
That's what they're doing
get
right
their swag
now.
from
That's
the
exactly
street
what they
shit.
doing
That's
right
why they
now.
hiring people like Virgil.
That's what they doing right now.
I also don't even understand what that's supposed to mean, because isn't like streetwear always?
It's
Doesn't
always
matter what generation.
no matter
you
what
go
it
down
is.
to,
It's
like,
always
17
to
whatever in whatever country.
bruh.
It is there. Whatever people
1960, they were the skaters, all that. Like, bro, it's
All
like
the
that
logos
makes
they
no
wanna put on
sense. It's
everything.
like, come on, bro. Like, you know, with all these fashion places, not even just fashion, just shit in general. They always see people that's lesser known, or a lot of these lesser brands,
And they scoop their shit.
They scoop their shit, not
Right.
giving credit, not saying anything
Yep.
about it. So it's like, you know, hey, I do respect Virgil, but we need more. And there are a lot. Like, I know are you familiar with the brand Cold Wall?
Yeah.
Okay, so like there are more people of color that are out there that people should know more about. I just know a lot of niggas just know Virgil and that's it. And I'm just like, bro, it's way more than just Virgil. But it's like people take that shit seriously. Those headlines, like you said, they're looking up to you. So either someone's gonna feel some type of way or they're not gonna feel some type of way and just go along and be like, yeah, street, it's done. It's
No
done.
matter
We
what
gonna do
level,
business
bro.
now.
No matter what level I go to, I don't ever want anybody to put anything down because of something I say. Right? So I want everybody to keep doing and keep grinding and keep whatever you trying to do, keep doing it.
And exactly, and if you keep doing it, bro, and they said vintage, and everybody starts rocking vintage, you better use your creativity and create some dope ass vintage shit, because you know how
Real
fast,
shit.
you know
That's
how
what
you know
everything
how
is already.
fashion moves.
Bro, look at
You
Rude,
know-
bro. Look at this
exactly.
brand Rude, bro. Like Rugi kicking off on remaking vintage shirt. Rude, RHUDE. He kicking off on remaking vintage shirts and making them in the style. But you know his price point is like one of those price points I was talking about, like where it's like $280 for a hoodie and
Oh, I gotta ask you about that too.
Yeah.
So finish your point, but I gotta
but like it's like
I am checking.
even if it's a thing where you are in your mind, a lot of the stuff you see nowadays, like Chinatown Market, all these places, all they're doing is recreating vintage shirts.
Yep.
That's all they're doing.
Yep.
The vintage college tees, all that, they're putting Chinatown Market instead of the University of whatever. They're putting their shit on it. So the vintage styling has always is around right now, especially with the t-shirts.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the game is. Taking an old logo, an old font from this, and you put it in your logo, and you do this and you do that. That's like what it is. So it's a weird thing to say. It's just the headline was just crazy to me when I saw it.
Yeah.
Was just crazy to me. And I can't believe somebody would say something that came from this thing, or would allow it to even be a misunderstanding or a misconception of what he's saying or whatever. You feel me? So it's like I just felt some type of way about it as soon as I saw it, because I was like, I could tell.
Nah, that's respect.
There
man.
are these type of people out here that when they get on, they want to forget.
Especially people that look up to you.
Yeah.
And they have their own brand and they're making it.
And they want to forget, bro. They want to forget, dog. And I'm like, yo, you cannot even let it be a question.
Yep.
And that's why it's like people who get it. I mean, look, there is a certain point where you can be jaded in this whole game, man. I've seen it. Like, there's dudes I fuck with now, and I I've willed myself to like be around them, but it's like I won't, like, okay, what have you done for me lately? A thing I talked about earlier. It was just like there's a guy who has a brand that's on its way. It ain't the top shit yet, to where it's known everywhere, but he's on his way. But he does know a lot of people that got shit going for him. You feel me? And like his birthday came about, whatever. He follows me. Birthday came about. I did a birthday post for him because he has given game, but he don't repost my birthday shout out, and it will make you feel some type of way where you go like, oh, you repost this dude's birthday shout out, and this dude and this dude. Yeah. Oh, you like this dude's pictures and you like this shit, but you don't like none of my shit. But it's a what have you done for me type situation. Yeah. Individuals out here who are actually utilizing social media are making themselves into a brand. So if you have a brand, who you associate yourself with or who you're seen with is very important. Yeah. That's why I can't get upset or mad. You just got to go, I'll put myself in a position where he not reposting one of my shout outs is going to be crazy to him. You feel me? And that's where I feel everybody should go. People get very daunted and they get in their feelings about shit so quick on social media. Yeah. There's a circle jerk that goes on with social media. Because if it says like, oh, we on the same, it's all levels. If I'm on this level, you on this level, we on the same level. Oh, bet you post I'm going to post your shit. You doing an event, I'm going to repost your shit. You going to repost me reposting your shit. But do I repost you reposting me? Yep. But then how many, but when do we stop reposting? Yeah, facts. And it's like a circle jerk out here, and I'm not mind it to a certain extent, but at a certain point you gotta stop.
Make anybody, if you should feel humble about anybody who reposts anything, because they didn't. What if they're driving right now and they just reposted you before they went into work and started a 12-hour shift? Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Like one of those things where
you can't. It's none of your fucking business.
but then there's people out there, like I have this artist that I have a guy that I had been supporting out there in DC, an artist where I would repost his shit. And for whatever reason, bro, he just like this is a person where this is another part of it where you see them reposting literally everybody and not reposting your shit. And even one of my homeboys was like, damn, I just noticed that shit. Like, we was both at the event last night. He reposted my shit, but anything you reposted from last night, he didn't repost. Yeah. So you go, okay, bet. That just lets you know right there. You just go, hey, I fall back. Yep. But I'm cool. Yeah. But there's things that's why there's like a duality to it. Cause like, you gotta understand when to back, or when you go like, okay, somebody, it's not being reciprocated, and then there's another level where it's like, all right, I understand where it's not being reciprocated here because this person does keep it on a certain level, and you're saying like, oh, they have this, they're at a certain level, which I feel is a little high up, especially with the company they keep. That's like, it's like this whole.
But that's some
cool guy,
and they'll realize that later on with them themselves.
It's just later on, yeah. It's like it is a thing where it's like you do aspire to be up here, but then there's certain people you look at and you're like, okay, well, my view of you, not to be upset, and not to throw shade, but I don't feel like you are at this level yet to where you're like, you know, there has to be something else because you're the person that's reposting everybody who posts their shit versus a person who's selective on what they do. So you gotta be out here with these goggles on, where you're like these social media goggles that you read everything with no emotion to survive out here, because you'll be feeling very, very self-conscious about certain things.
Can I say something real quick? Like, it's funny because it's like some people may look at that like as some people may feel, some people might be like, oh, well, that's minuscule, but it's not. Like, it's something that I also myself pride myself on. Like, it's like I don't get in my feelings about it no more, but it's like I pay attention to who.
You
like,
pay attention.
repost
Checks and
my
balances,
music.
bro.
Like, and it's like I try to get everybody, but then some people got to understand that, like, maybe this song you just didn't get to, or maybe this brand you didn't get to, but then you do notice, like, okay, this person never post my shit, or they never do this. Like, I done met with so many people who's like close friends, and they just don't post my shit.
I
I'm
got,
just like,
bro. I got boys.
okay,
I got boys I grew up with, bro. They ain't bought a shirt.
Yeah,
That ain't bought a hat.
never been
That
to
ain't
a
bought
show.
a hoodie.
Never been to
Like
a
out
show.
in Cali, like niggas I grew up with, like for real shit. Like my dogs ain't bought shit, and it's like, I'm sorry, like you do get put in over there.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
you do.
I don't care how long and how much whatever and what we been. You get put over there, bro.
Yep.
Like that's just what it is.
Yep.
So when it comes to the point where I'm doing some shit, if I want you still in my corner, oh, you gonna hear it. I'm like, oh, now you want to come around.
Yeah.
Oh, now you want to fuck with me.
Yep.
Now you want to buy some shit.
Yep.
What happened before when I was coming up? You ain't buy shit.
Yep.
I'm like, nigga, I hit you up in a little bit. Like, yeah, it's cool. You feel me? But like, you still put over there, bro. Like, it's just one of those things. And you need that support. And there's been people that I know for a fact that I know they people that I maybe not have bought shit either. But it's like I've always shown love. I've always reposted. I've always done things like that. I got people that ain't reposted none of my shit.
Bruh.
Like real shit.
Bruh. Like, I say this because it's like, I'm very low key around this area. Only a few people really know who I am. Like, luckily, you know, I met Gary and he told me about you, and I seen that you were really interested in trying to come on here. And it's like even little shit like that, bro. Like that makes sense because it's like I know people that I've known for a long time. They ain't never bought none of my songs, never been to a show, never even said like they checked the track out. Like, just let me know. But the thing is crazy that when I was mentioning Twitch earlier, I get on this shit, only been on here since February. I got half my fucking people that come in my chat done bought my song or threw me money randomly, and I'm just
those
like,
are the
that
ones
shit's so crazy.
And but that's what it is, cause then what will happen will it be if those people that have been following your Twitch, if that shit ups to thousands and thousands of people, and you ain't really fucking with the people, they gonna be like, you changed up, you changed, every guy you gotta follow him,
different.
and you like, what you mean?
Where was you
Like
at when I
you
was
ain't been
struggling?
there
Yeah,
exactly.
you was not there when I was
Trust me, I'm ready for
struggling.
it. I'm ready for the you change
hell
bullshit. I'm ready for that
Oh
shit.
man, I'm so ready
2020
for
is
it.
getting, bruh, like
Bruh.
2020. I'm gonna be hearing all kind of, well, you don't reply to my shit, you don't reply to my text. Like, nigga, cause you over there now. What you mean?
Oh, you only like my shit.
Now you
I'm
want to
like,
come
what?
around. Now you want to come to the party. Now you want to go. Oh, I got an event in LA. Now you want to come to the events and shit. Oh, okay, I see. But you gonna pay for the event though?
Yeah. facts.
Okay, I get it for free. Nope.
Don't ask to get
Nah.
your friends in, nigga. No.
I had some people. I had a little
Full price.
I had a little GoFundMe because we had to pay for some little shit outside of our insurance for my daughter for the shop, and we was a little behind in the shop. And I put a GoFundMe up. I'm like, yo, let me get some can y'all help me out? Whatever. I hit my peoples, bro. Like, I was just at $5, bro. $5. Nope. Didn't get shit. But there are people that I even just like, yo, it's my last, but I got you, bro. That was on some but they are on a list, dog.
Yep.
The people who donated to that GoFundMe,
Yep.
they're on a list, a forever list.
That's crazy.
That's all it is. Yeah. And it's like they gonna be wondering when I really am on some shit that who's getting invites to events and who getting it's gonna be people who don't. Even the person on the random who just went across my shit was like, I like this store, I'm gonna donate some money.
Yep.
You on the list now.
Yep.
Cause you showed something that was a little bit extra than what you needed to do whatsoever, especially somebody who don't really even know me like that.
Yep.
So it's like, bro, it's the type of individual.
Facts.
It's a supportive type of person. Like if I see one of my people's put a GoFundMe up, bro, I'm whatever I got.
Yeah.
Like,
I try to do the best.
Bro, all I got is $1. Nobody gonna be like, oh, you can only get. They be like, yes, thank you.
Yep.
That's it.
I
That's
try
all
to do I try to do the best I can too, bro. Like, it's try because I know, like, for me personally, I'm not always there. Like, and I try to let motherfuckers know, like, hey, maybe down the line something happen. Like, recently I had a photo shoot with my homie, and I've known that man for about 6-7 years, and I just never could get a chance to get to a photo shoot. We just had a photo shoot. He's like, bro, I'm so happy that we did this. Like, I'm like, bro, you got to at least know people, even if you're not always there buying it. Try to pop up to an event, contact that person, be like, hey, like, yo, You know, because and everything may be everything. Like, maybe they don't like what you got. You know what I mean? Maybe they just waiting until, like, it's some shit that they're accustomed to.
Right.
But then you got people, of course, they're not going to be there no matter what the situation is. As soon as they start seeing, like, shit happen, it really does change. And then that's when everybody's, like, changing and all that. But, like I got a homie that does a clothing line. He's worked with, like, fucking like Gunna and people like that.
Oh yeah.
Like, and so it's like it's cool to understand like where someone comes from and kind of see that grind where people, because I know people would be like, oh, motherfucker done change, and it's like, niggas is busy, bro. That's
No,
another
I mean,
thing.
it's real,
Niggas
like-
is busy.
Like there are only so many seats, bro, and it's like you gotta understand that you gotta keep it you gotta keep it tight, cause you don't even know what people have your best interests. Your main people could be the ones who are looking to, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it just, when it comes to like getting the money or getting that bread or living a different lifestyle, like some people will feel self-conscious about the shit. They'll be like, well, he's here. Where am I at? What am I doing? They got to figure it out. I don't feel like I've got to figure it out. But I don't feel like that's an excuse to not support. I'm just like, I don't think that's an excuse, yo. At least show love, like send a message, like, oh, this shit is dope. This is, yo, I'm gonna try to get a shirt, or I'm gonna try to get whatever. At least I know that the intention is there. Cause if you had it, you already spending the time to send me the message talking about how you gonna get the shit.
Yeah.
I'll take that. If you actually buy it, don't matter. At least you showing the intention. At least there's an effort there. Just to have it be nothing, and I see you post all this other shit and all this dumb shit and all this other stuff that it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, you can't even just be like, hey, bro, I love your shit. I'm gonna get it when I can get some bread. We'll get my bread right. You know what I'm saying?
Just little things like that matter.
Just little things like that matter, because it shows you that, oh, bet. And especially if it's your peoples who do it,
Hell yeah.
it gives them it's way more for them. It's like, at least he reaching out. At least he's saying, y'all want to fuck with you. But it's just like, for me, it's a little tight. I understand it. Like, I got you. But at least you're consistent. Like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is dope. Oh, or this, like, that's all I need.
Yeah.
Or reposting. Oh, go follow my man page, or go look at this. Go look at his shit. He just posted some new clothes. That's all you need.
Yep.
So, but it gets to that point, bro. Like, the social media brings out a lot of that, to where if you are analytical, which I feel like everybody should be, who's trying to do anything, you gotta know it. And it ain't no changing up. It's just like, you know who supported and you know who didn't.
Kept that mental image.
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah.
Bro, I can remember everything I buy from, like, when I was selling vintage. I know everything. Like, it's just in my head. Oh, I got this. Oh, I bought that shirt over here. Oh, I bought that shirt at the Goodwill in Stevens City. I know that. Like, it's just a thing that just inherently sticks in your head.
I got this jump from Goodwill. Sheesh. I don't even.
You got that from Goodwill? That shit is hard. That's why I said, like, I be looking online.
Dry clean. Somebody was getting it. Dry clean. Oh, I see. Coupon cut. I don't know what brand that is, but
No,
that
I went
shit
online.
hard.
I went online, bro. That jump was like $100 some. I was like, all
that
right.
shearling is got the little shearling inline lining.
Which
That's
is dope.
That's
dope.
nice.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, see, and that's the funny thing. Like, I was looking at, like, a goddamn camo jacket. Big ass.
Bro, it's
camo
for $20 though. $20.
And I looked on the website. That shit cost like $230. I got it at the goddamn the store.
Rex, you be coming up, bro. You be coming
yeah,
up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
$10-15. I'm like,
Come
oh,
up
this
to
shit
real.
is nice, bro.
Come
Like,
up to
that's
real.
why I tell people, if you wanna get into fashion, you don't always gotta buy shit that is fucking super expensive, bro. Go to Goodwill, bro. I'm telling you, get you some stuff. Go to. There's even little websites here and there you can find.
Oh yeah, yeah.
get you for some
Oh,
shit.
I'll give y'all some game. Nah, I don't want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
No,
Okay, I'll tell you.
I need to know.
Oh,
Keep that for you.
Yeah, let me know on the cut, bro.
I'll let you know when we
When we get all
Oh, there's plenty of sites. There's so many sites. Look, all I'm saying is this. You gotta understand. There's always a group out there that specializes or collects something, right? Now you gotta think about what websites were like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Those websites are still up.
Yep.
There's OGs out there that still got this shit
Indeed.
that you need to be able to hop on their message boards and be like, hey, I said message board. Like, nobody even knows, like, message board, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, yo, there's so much shit out there
Yep.
to be had.
That's facts.
Real shit.
God, I'm talking about fashion. Yeah. I
Yo.
know, right?
You're the first person when I like when I said like you want a White Claw, you're like, hell yeah. Like nobody be doing that.
Nobody wants White Claw?
No, they don't like White Claws.
I hate White.
I just,
It just tastes disgusting to me.
well, I'm a lightweight alcoholic, so.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not an alcoholic. Sorry, wife. My wife would be like, "What the fuck?" No, but I drink. So I'm a Hennessy neat guy.
Hennessy neat.
I'm a bourbon neat.
Bourbon
so it's
neat.
like my
So you like
taste
old
buds
fashions?
Are really not there. Old fashions are cool.
Yeah.
I take my shit neat, bro. Room temperature. That's what neat means. Everybody.
Yeah.
That means they take the
y'all
liquor
that
off
know.
the back and they just pour it in the cup and they just give it to you. So
Sometimes that's better.
I love
Especially
neat. I love room temperature.
You be sipping it,
It's like cold
or you just
outside.
take the whole thing.
Sip it.
Yeah, when it's cold outside too.
Too old to be just taking the whole thing of anything.
Hell no. Yeah. So I do have another question, something that I always talk about. Well, two questions, but one of the question is, when it comes to fashion, are you more of a summer guy or fall, spring, or winter guy?
Well, I love the fall because of the layering.
Ooh, same. That's it.
The layering is
That's
nice.
it.
I know you ever seen that picture of Michael Jackson where he was wearing the hoodie underneath the trench coat.
No.
It's a hard ass picture. He got the
Can you
little
pull that up?
he got the leather
Oh,
gloves
never
on.
mind.
He got the leather gloves on. He outside dapping somebody up, and I saw that. I saw it years ago, and I started rocking it like that. Bro, tell me why. Look, I'm telling you right now. 2008, I was wearing the hoodie underneath the trench coat. All right, in 08. Now I know I didn't see that shit pop. He was just wearing a hoodie, but it was like him wearing a damn. It's just like a random ass picture of Michael Jackson. Just like that random picture of Michael Jackson with them two. I don't want to say midgets, but that's inappropriate. I didn't want to say
Small
that.
people.
Little people.
Little people.
Two little people. Two little women.
Yeah.
But it was right there, bro.
Yeah.
Bruh. I saw that picture years ago, and I was like, that shit's hard. And I started rocking that shit like that.
I look at shit like that and be like,
Shit was hard.
"Man, that shit die." Yeah, I do the same shit.
That shit was hard.
I be
started
thinking it's
wearing the
Photoshop.
fucking
I think
hoodie.
that's in the bad video. I think that's from the bad video.
No, I think that's the video where he was with Wesley Snipes in the beginning. Remember that video? I forgot what song that was, bro. But
Man,
it was
these
a-
people
Wesley
be
Snipes.
tripping.
Yeah, he had an intro where he was going to the hood. It
You
was
about to
him and
take a
Wesley
piss, Aaron?
Snipes. I forgot what this.
You about to
song's
pee?
called, bro.
Shit.
He was like in the
I'ma get-
hood, bro, chilling.
Pee for
But
me
nah,
too.
I watched Stranger Things.
Let me hold it.
I wanted to get the fucking corduroy jacket with the fur on it.
Right,
And I was
yeah.
just like, I saw that shit. I was like, bro, I need one of these like ASAP, bro. And it's like I love that jacket.
Yeah,
Like,
it's all about. I mean, it's all about getting the reference points, and I can say like a lot of the references that we're moving towards. It's just vintage ones or ones that were here already. It's just kind of recycling and stuff. But that's what fashion is.
yeah,
It's recycling.
facts.
Just consistently recycling. So if you're a student of it, you can be ahead of waves.
Yep.
You can
Facts.
see where it goes,
Facts.
and you can understand what's coming now.
But do you feel like
I told you, I said dunks were coming back 2 years ago.
Mm.
I said like the next thing, I was like everybody likes these things, everybody likes this, whatever. But like dunks about to make a comeback, huge.
you ever feel like Reebok forever
Huge.
come back?
Reeboks are back.
Yeah, they are back.
Reeboks are back,
Yeah,
bro.
they never- have you ever
They're
heard
back.
Of, you ever heard of yeah,
Now, I
you-
feel like,
Bruh, they redoing the
Classic.
quest.
Classic.
Camera.
Oh,
Yeah, they're redoing the. They're
Reebok's actually their hugest export is actually in China. They make so much money off of the Chinese. They never go off. They just switch markets.
Yeah.
What do you think about Corbito and Pierre Moss? With that horror
the pirate jerseys, hard,
hard, right?
bruh, crazy.
Dope.
And I'm like, yeah,
African
black,
American, another
black
guy, that's
black
out there
high
killing it,
fashion,
high fashion
who's
shit.
fucking killing this shit.
Killing the shit.
And if you rocking his shoes, it's like my boy East ain't got a pair of them, and I was going crazy. I was like, man, this
I
man,
kinda want them.
god
red
damn,
Jones. You know,
the
red-
ones with the orange on the
the
black
orange,
and the
yeah,
orange and
yeah,
the red
yeah,
all
yeah.
together. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my god,
Son,
the pirate, them shits is hard,
bruh.
and that's what's really dope about it is just like, I feel like everybody's coming back around. Fila.
Yep.
Fila.
A lot of
Basic champions
Yeah.
making shoes.
Niggas used to make fun of you if you rock like Champion back when I was in high school, bro. Like,
Bruh.
what?
Bro, Russell Athletics is doing collabs, bro.
Facts.
Russell Athletics is did a Kith collab.
They did a joint with Kid. Kid does
Yes.
shit with everyone, though.
But
bro.
Kith, you know,
Like,
Ronnie is a little bit of a whore when it comes to collabs. This
If
man,
you're hip,
this
you're
man
hip.
doing Coca-Cola.
He did a Simpsons.
Bruh, it don't matter. Look, Ronnie getting them checks, and I ain't mad at you, Ronnie.
Yeah. Ronnie
I mean,
getting some
to keep it real, like Ronnie came into the game. People think, he was already kind of in the
He was
game.
in that long though. Like he was doing shit with Jadakiss back in like the early
Bro,
2000s.
like,
bro.
but Ronnie's like, he was already plugged in. Like, he had people in the industry when he
That's
started.
crazy.
Kid, if y'all don't know what it is.
Ronnie calls pants a pant. So that tells you where he at right now in his life. This pant. I'm like, bro, like, come on.
Who speaks?
Just say pants. Like, come on, bro.
Can you real quick? You mind putting up Kith real quick? I just wanted to.
You didn't see the Russell Athletic collab?
The what?
You saw the Russell Athletic collab, the Russell and Kith joint.
Yeah, fam.
It's crazy. It's a trip. Russell, just put
Kith,
like
K-I-T-H.
yeah, and Russell Athletic.
Yeah, X like Russell Athletic.
Russell Athletics.
It's also so. Do you also think that collaboration is a thing when it comes to?
Collaborations
very-
saved multiple companies. Collabs have saved them. I mean, at
Even
end
in the
of-
music industry.
Oh, like when it comes to collabs, I think that's honestly what the past like maybe 4 years have been the driving force in the fashion game.
Fucking facts.
100%.
dude. Fucking facts.
So it's like the hype it's built, all that has saved companies. Like legitimately, like I mean, think about like once the whole dunk craze died down with Nike, they were just kind of like floating in the water. If you put like Russell Athletics and on Google, you'll see it. That's just their website.
Yeah, that's the proper spelling. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's right.
I got a jacket from them that looks like his actually. That's like really just
Quality wise,
like
that kid has always been crazy.
Yeah,
But like I
love
mean,
quality.
I think one of the biggest things you can give Ronnie credit for was the whole jogger craze, because he was the first guy to take. He actually made the joggers.
Yeah.
Those like khaki
The
joints
pins.
with the little stretchy at the bottom.
Yep.
That was like Ronnie Fight, real shit. And don't quote me. You may have been somebody out in New York who was
With
doing
it,
that shit
yeah,
already and
had an
just
idea.
snatched that
That's
shit. But
usually how it always is though. Like unfortunately.
but
that's
unfortunately, it's
usually
what
how
it is. Yo. That
is
is what it is. Well, Russell. Do Russell.
R-U-S-S-E-L.
Yeah.
He said wrestle.
He said Russell.
R-U.
Right there. Yeah, click it. Click right there.
Yep.
Like, look at this collab, bro.
Sick.
Like he into the R. Like click on that one. Click on this
The
one.
yellow
to the
one?
Left, the yellow joint.
Wanna go back? The yellow,
right
yeah,
there,
that
yeah.
one.
Like look at that with the kid and the
So
R.
simplistic.
Just chill. But that was the biggest issue with him for a while. I guess I think want to say
Hey,
in the last
well,
like
take
year or two
Mm-hmm.
was the branding was just so heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And I think that we're moving into a more minimalistic
Like a simplified.
place
Yeah.
right now.
Do you
Yeah.
like simplicity more so in clothing, or do you?
I do
feel
like the branding. I like it. I mean, but you look at like what the Cactus Flea Market Nike collab. You saw that?
Cactus Flea Market? Oh no.
The Pharrell joint, the
Wait, Yep. I know what you're talking
and
about.
it's cool, but the shit is crazy
Yeah,
looking,
it's
bro.
all over the place. Like it's really psychedelic type. But it's like not just that. It's just it's all over the place.
But
like,
it looks like.
Did you see the shoes?
It looks like the bootleg. It was like very bootleg. What's crazy is like, I remember going to the Slauson swap meet, out in L.A. and seeing like the knockoff Nike joint where it says Nike Air and it looks weird and it's the stitches are all connecting and all that, and that's what people want now.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's wild.
Yep.
Wild to me.
It's kind of.
Yes. Like, look at that. That's legitimately, I see shit that looked like that at the swap meet back in the day. It's just a Nike, and then the Air on it. Like, that's literally what they did back in the day, and that's what they putting on their shit. So, it's where we at, man. It's just all about how you market. That's all that matters. You got a
market
name.
too.
You got a name. No, don't matter.
Don't even matter who you
Don't
market.
fucking
Just
matter.
how you market.
If it's how you market, the photos, the people will find you.
Off break.
Right? You do have to have an idea of like, oh, I want to have the cool, trendy, the girls that wear the sweatpants with the crop tops and like, the Instagram-y kind of. You want that, but if you attach a name to it, for real, Nike, that's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need. But if you are coming up, like marketing, I'll say you on it with like who you market to. You do have to know your demographic, right? The kids nowadays, though, it's like
Then most likely they'll find you.
they will, and you do got to market to the trendy. I feel like you have to market to that trendy crowd, and your photo shoots have to look like very like, oh, you know, it's a girl with a shaved head and a septum piercing, and she's very like, she's sitting like this and like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you do that, then everybody's like, wow, I want that. Like, I need that. So
Needs that.
So that's where I'm at. I kind of am too right now with what I'm trying to do.
Are we still going or are we how you feeling? Are we still going? I mean, we've been streaming for how long? Yeah. Almost
Dang.
Since I got here?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Crazy.
Yeah, see, when you just talking, it just goes by, right? Like
That's wild.
Yeah, when you just talking, bro, and just having a conversation, it just goes by like that. That's why. Hey,
That's
man,
crazy.
I just wanna say, bro, you are a killer fucking guest, bro. I appreciate that, my
Nah,
dude.
bro,
Real,
that's
bro.
blessed.
For real,
Yeah.
for real. I appreciate that a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Aaron, you
Yeah.
came in with good vibes.
Bruh, I had to check in. I said, oh, hold on, let me change my clothes. I just got off work.
In fact, I just threw this on. I was just like, this is
It was
good
way
enough.
different than last week. I wasn't gonna say anything, but when I first got, I was like, yo, there's a little bit of animosity and aggression when I opened that door. I was like,
Let me
I didn't want to say
talk
anything,
to you
but I wanted to
off the camera.
Said what?
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, that's what I said. Once again, we'll talk about that.
I didn't want the energy to be correct.
Yeah.
Usually, like you can tell, you can be
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Everyone in the chat called it out.
Yeah. But like I said, let's
Okay.
let's talk
Yeah.
about this. Someone's like, yeah. But no.
Bro.
Cause it's just I'm glad that more so the fact that you couldn't speak to people in this area, kind of keep going on about
Right.
and just kind of get a vibe from it. Cause it's like I was very reserved in this DMV area. I didn't like this area. at
Right,
first,
right,
bro. Like,
yeah.
I just felt like it was no camaraderie, and I'm seeing more, and it's just kind of coming here and being open about that, bro. We really appreciate that, and like, yeah, I can't wait to definitely come to Silver a lot more, bro. Like, cause you once again you do events, so if we just
Yeah. I got an event on the 27th. Bucky Malone is gonna be performing there. So he has
a Manassas Classic, bro.
Yeah.
A legend, actually.
He's doing a pop up throughout the whole day on Friday, and then like he's gonna start performing around like 7.
Got you.
7:30.
That's dope, bro.
And that's he's super dope. I fuck with his shit heavy.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we may just wrap it up, bro. At this point in time.
Angels cry because they don't have tomatoes.
That is not why Asians cry. If you want to know,
Oh yeah, you gotta give it.
oh, this looks nice, bro.
You gotta get an answer.
You actually did some pretty good art today.
Oh, I did more.
That is some good shit.
Show the art.
That's all I did.
Look, that's dope.
Whoa,
We
the
see Rex's?
Stormtrooper.
Killed it.
Nice.
Oh,
Holy
it's
shit,
hard.
Rex.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I could just do these little things.
If you're all still watching, the reasons why my suspenders, the reason why my suspenders are so tight is to accentuate the bulge.
Oh, that's
You
yeah,
figured that one out.
yeah.
And the reason why angels cry is because Jesus' dick touches the back of their throats. Thank you for being so close. He just couldn't get it. He said penis. And he said
It gets kind of crazy on here.
Oh.
They've actually been chilling the whole time, bro. Like you actually came when they were chill today, bro. You lucky they didn't come when they were saying some fucking wild shit.
Oh yeah,
He said the mic is breaking up. You're moving too much.
Oh,
no,
me?
Yeah.
Did they
he said,
figure it
yeah.
out? Did they get the answer?
No, he said he couldn't hear you because you were moving too much with the mic.
I'm sorry. Here you go.
Don't repeat that.
Now I'm gonna repeat it. So the reason
Oh
why
my
my suspenders
God, I
are
gotta hear
so
it
tight
again.
is to accentuate the bulge, and the reason why angels cry is because Jesus' dick touches the back of their throats. I love you all. Good night. This has been Painting with Friends.
Damn.
This is not my
All right,
brother.
y'all. Bye.
Yeah, this is not my man.
I'm out.
I just want to say.
You listened to the song. You knew I made that song right when I got out of high school.
I'm out of here.
I've been saying shit like that since you met me.
I'm out of here.
We may not all agree with Vaz, but hey, I will say though once again, thank you guys for coming to another fucking episode of Painting with Friends. Yeah, you got the kalimba. Do the kalimba. Well, pass it to me.
No. Dude, go ahead.
Thank you for coming through with Painting with Friends.
Yeah.
I'm Rex. This is Cam of Civil.
All right, y'all.
That is CY.
Appreciate you.
Yo.
Yeah,
CY
this is
Music.
Vaz Hayes. And guys, I hope y'all have a great. Well, we're gonna be here next week actually before the year's over. But enjoy your fucking Christmas. Be safe.
Merry
and,
Christmas.
Don't drink and drive.
Ryan was so close. He was so fucking close.
Let's get the fuck out of here,
He
bro.
was
Peace.
so close, though.
Peace, y'all.
He almost had it. They all almost had it. for?
Just don't care. DC. Y'all want to go to DC?
Where?
Nah,
Now?
not tonight.
Take it down.
I'm going new soon.
Hey, what happened?
Now.
What are y'all about to go do?
Wait, now? Why?
Walk around. Chill.
No, I'm good. I would have if y'all would have told me earlier, yeah, but no, I'm good now, bro.